Come into the room, come into the room, come into the room, come into the room. I'm moving like Mary J. Blige. Y'all can't see me, but I'm doing the Mary J. Blige, the little Kim. All right, doing that little shoulder-ish. Come into the room, come into the room, come into the room, come into the room, please. I'm on CPT time. All right, that means I'm very late. Apologies and thank you for being here. All right, I missed you guys. All right, you're my friends. You really are. Thank you so much for being here. I am DanieSteel. This is DanieSteel, home of the purple print. Okay. A lot's been happening lately in these streets. As long as Black women prioritize themselves and what is in their absolute best interest, it's all good. Everyone will find their tribe. I absolutely agree with you, Ruth Bobo. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I could have kept going. You know, to me, this title is, it's like the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. So people started singing and not knowing what it was. It's like, you know, divestors, divesting from divested, divestors, divested, 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 divested. You could keep it going. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, this is fun. So I wanted to have a little chat with y'all because, again, you guys really are my friends. Steelies, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for waiting for me. Thank you for accepting CPT time. You know, I'm going to get into it later, but I couldn't find my tribe. I couldn't find my tribe in real life. I thought family was supposed to be tribe, you know, but anybody that's a Steely knows how my family, and I put that in quotation marks, family of origin, okay? Because my husband is my family. My husband and our household is my family. Y'all know how people do. It's a savage world out there. Let's talk about divestors, divesting from divested divestors, okay? We got to talk about it. Divestors are divesting from divested divestors, divesting in the... Okay, we going to talk about it. Come into the room, come into the room, come into the room, come into the room. Okay, come into the room. I need to figure out how to turn on the subscribers only chat feature. Yes, you would go to the customization button. It's a circular button with kind of like parentheses around it. Okay, so, and you would find that in your YouTube studio, my world. And you know what? I was watching your video, your latest video about how Black women can be a headache. Amen. One thing I love about our space here is we're not afraid of accountability. We're not afraid. And we engage in that often. And I love that for us. I absolutely love that for us. I think it's so important. But you were saying some really, you know, great stuff in there, my world. And, you know, I'll just touch on it now. Thank you, everybody that's here. Please thumbs up the video and subscribe so that you can participate in the conversation. Okay, right. I said, I know my Steelies got opinions on this, okay? And that's why I'm doing this. People always say, why are you talking about this if you're talking about this? And why are you talking about this if you're talking about that? Shut up. Okay? All right? I answer to the Steelies. All right? What the Steelies demand. Okay? So, period. You didn't know I was married? Yeah. Okay. All right. You know, I mean, hey, it's important information when it's important information. Always important for me, but, you know, I'm definitely, as an actor, right? Keep it on the down low. I made the mistake of wearing my wedding bands to a few auditions. Don't do that. Okay, they don't want to know that you're married. But yeah, I've been married for going on Well, since 2016, I'm doing real bad with math right now. So will that be going on 7 years? Yeah. What is up? Good to see you. I never was able to say your name. Say your name. Say your name. Al Kahinat. I hope that's how you say your name. Beautiful name. Beautiful name. Oh shoot, Lace Coco coming through with the super chat. Thank you, Lace Coco. Thank you for doing that, man. These mammies have hijacked the divest movement. I will agree on that. I will agree on that, and I've touched on that on this channel, right? Is that inevitably the reality is the movement of divestment lost control, all right? When you don't control the narrative, you cannot control the movement. I've said that multiple times on this channel. Very sad to see because, and you have to understand, when you start in a movement, I mean, look what they did to the Black Panthers, right? And there's some controversial figures in the Black Panthers, but I think the Black Panther Party overall was doing good will overall. I'm not saying every leader, every member. No, we all know they had some violent, problematic members in that party, okay? But overall, you know, the food program and Black people practicing their First Amendment rights, which I absolutely agree in, especially for Black women to practice their First Amendment rights. You know, they were doing good things, but America got to control the narrative of who they were. America got to control the narrative of who Malcolm X was. Heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking. Not just America, but the organization where the men that took him out were a part of. Okay, well, we'll get into that whatever. Okay, but the point is, right, when you don't control, it's just like, pretty, get out of here. Get out of here. All right, goodbye. When you don't control the message, when it gets into other people's hands and you can't control the narrative, you've lost control of the movement. Okay? And that happens so much with Black people. Throughout the diaspora. We see it in African and Caribbean communities, right? How people can be easily bought. And we certainly see it here in America. I don't think there's a Black leader. I mean, there's a handful of Black politicians who have yet to be bought out that we know of. I mean, it's bad when it comes to Black folk. It absolutely is. But thank you, Lace Coco, again for that super chat. Really appreciate you. What's up, Cosmic Journey? Good to see you. Good to see y'all. Thank you again for being here. Again, please thumbs up the video and subscribe. It's getting wild, right? I was like, what's going on? Yeah, y'all know me. I woke up. I was like, whoa. What's going on? Right? Why can't we be friends? No, that's all right. We'll talk about it. Oh, thank you, Sparrows. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate y'all. It's good to see y'all. All right, so let's get into it, yeah. Again, Lace Coco, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate everyone that supports my channel with viewing, liking, sharing, and certainly with your monetary donations. I truly appreciate it because you guys have encouraged me to keep going. When I was told, hey, you're weird, you're different, you're not one of us, right? My whole life. And, like I said, I didn't find my tribe in real life. You would assume it's family. It's not. I had to find it here and on my channel, and I thank God for that. I really do. So thank you guys again for being here. Let's get into the topic. Divestors, divesting from divested, divestors. Okay. What's going on? Well, we're going to get into it, yeah. Wives, mistresses, and sugar babies are trying to get the bag under the umbrella of divestment. It's getting messy. It's getting messy, right? Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. You're absolutely right. That's well said. Happy, rich, and pretty. Exactly. Right. I'm like, why divestment became the bad guy? You know? And I'm going to say this throughout the video. Right? I've said it before. To me, divestment is not an external movement. You could very well be on my channel right now listening to this. You're not divested. You know what I'm saying? Like, divestment is not an external movement. It's an internal framework. It's an internal awakening. It's an internal journey. I've told y'all that a million times. Imagine talking about reaching nirvana. And you're like, we're going to do the movement of reaching nirvana. You're not going to, that's not a movement. Very few people who will ever touch this earth, that will ever touch this planet, will reach nirvana. When you do, you cease to exist. It's a beautiful thing. Beautifully tragic. The point is, nirvana is not a movement. It's an internal awakening. It's an internal journey. The same thing with healing, something that I focus very much so on this channel. I focus on healing because I know how pivotal it's been for me. So again, I shouted out My World. She did a video where she was talking about how Black women can be difficult. And she was saying, that's what I'm talking about, that personal accountability. Every Black woman content creator that I follow has been willing to admit her flaws and own up to what she has to do to make her life better for herself, right? And My World was saying, you know, I would be talking to people and, you know, they weren't here for it. They didn't like the way I was talking. They felt that I was negative. They felt that I was doing too much, right? And it was too much for them. And I've been told that my whole life. I've been told that my whole life from various people, whether they directly told me it or they told me it through their actions of no longer being in my life. Okay? So you have to understand when, you know what I'm saying? Hey, rant, get it out, be angry, but does it have to be an all day, everyday thing so that you can prove people that you grown and you gonna do you? Does it have to be an all day, everyday thing? Think about your emotional, mental health. Think about your healing. Healing, that's not a movement. That's an internal awakening. We do that at different rates. I'm healing at a different rate than the next woman. So movements tend to move where everyone in the movement is moving at the same pace. We talk about the civil rights movement, right? Everyone was moving at the same rate. There weren't people in that movement who were like, I'm not oppressed. I moved so fast within this movement, I'm no longer oppressed. It doesn't work that way, right? Movements take the consensus of everyone involved. Divesting, healing. I wish you guys would associate divesting more with healing, because that's how I see it. Again, an internal awakening. You're going to move at different rates than the people around you. And we have to give grace to that understanding. I've always given grace to that understanding. I've always acknowledged, hey, there are younger people out here that are angry. Or there are people out here, maybe they're not younger. You know, I know some of these content creators, they're in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, and they're still talking about this, you know, they're still going hard when it comes to divestment. Why? Because that's their journey. That's their journey. And what I'm not going to do is sit up here and lecture them for not moving at the rate and the pace that I moved in this individual internal experience. I'm not going to sit up here and lecture you on that and be like, you should have healed the way I healed. You should have moved faster. When we have content creators who They had their time to be angry. You can take down videos, you can rebrand something. You know, Chrissy talks about how she's never taken down videos. I'm the same. I think it's important to, I believe in transparency. You can look back and see everything I've said. I've only taken down a handful of videos to be placed on my Patreon because they weren't vibing with the algorithm of YouTube. That's it. There's no chunk of time of my time on YouTube that I've cleared away to rebrand. Okay? At some point, we were all up in these spaces, in these rooms, listening to content creators that were angry. Was it me? Yeah, there were times when I was angry. I've told you guys before, when I first started my channel, older Black women would come to my channel and they'd be like, oh my God, you cussing? You cussing? And that really pissed me off because I've lived a very diverse life. And I know that when a white content creator makes their channel and they curse, you know what happens? White people that accept cursing subscribe and watch the content. And white people that don't move along. They don't lecture them about cursing. I was very upset because a lot of these women were women who hadn't experienced what I experienced. To this day, you guys know, I'm going to be passionate when it comes to these kids. I'm going to be passionate when it comes to the foster care system. I'm going to be passionate when it comes to Black women femicide, when it comes to racism, sexism, all the isms. When it comes to gaslighting Black women. When it comes to, you know, these out of control pygmishas, okay? I'm gonna be passionate. I might curse. You don't like it, boo? Move along. Plenty of women that don't, right? But not many. Almost every woman I've heard, especially in this space, they'll say one or two curse words, right? But people are coming at me like, oh my God, but that curse thing, I'm a Christian. I don't give a fuck. You haven't read the Bible more than me. I grew up in the church. I went to Catholic school. You haven't read the Bible more than me. All right? Jesus was cussing when he was, all right, cussing in Hebrew. When he was mad in the marketplace. Remember that? Remember that? When they were being blasphemous in the marketplace and they pissed Jesus off. I'm human. Right? So, like, it happens. Indeed, Nirvana, confirmation for me to build my villa in Bali. Okay, period. I gotta have something like that there. You're absolutely right. What is up, Queen Cascade? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. We're allowed to mess up and course correct. Absolutely. Again, what I don't agree with is content creators who have been significantly monetarily supported through this platform and whatever various ventures they have that depend on people supporting them, saying, well, now I've been supported, now I feel secure, now I feel like I know what I'm doing more. Okay, let me lecture y'all about what y'all doing. Again, everybody, you know, it's a lot of us. I was on here during the first wave. Okay. Whatever you want to call that wave. I was here on that first wave, right? I started my channel around the time when Brooklyn Blue was transitioning out of her channel on YouTube. Crystalline was very popular and increasing in popularity. You know, Chrissy had just started her channel. But because I made a conscious choice to not engage, to not talk about YouTube things. I wanted my content to be strictly life outside of YouTube, okay? Nobody was checking for that. That's why I started talking about YouTube things. It just is what it is. You know, people kept asking me, what do you think about this? And what do you think about that? I'm here. I'm listening. Okay, you know what? I'm going to contribute to the conversation. I'm up here setting my standard on some really high-ish that doesn't work for the algorithm. It doesn't work. Speaking of algorithms, please thumbs up the video and subscribe. Okay. And what I'm not going to do is stay up here and continue wondering why the channel isn't growing, why I'm not getting the feedback that I want, etc. No, I'm going to do the work. That being said, you know, my channel has grown very slowly because of my integrity, and it's something that I've had to accept. There are people on here acting like they got to the top with integrity. And I'm here to tell you that's cap. You're not going to get far in these YouTube streets on integrity. Okay? Because a lot of folk ain't trying to hear all that. So, you know, it's been a learning journey for me because, you know, I'm a don't start none, won't be none type person. And so I never wanted to comment about anything that was happening on YouTube because I saw how dirty these streets were. The streets were dirty. When they get dirty, they were dirty. Okay, and I didn't want to be a part of that. I knew I had a lot of work to do with my internal healing. I didn't want to be a part of that. So the choice I made to begin speaking on YouTube content was me trying to be brave for myself. Like, okay, put yourself out of your comfort zone. See where that takes you. And where it took me was, I think people started saying, okay, you know, this person has integrity, but now I feel like they have sincerity. They're not afraid to go there, right? And again, I talk about YouTube content. I don't talk about people's personal lives. I only talk about what people bring on YouTube. So I'm one of the least problematic people in this space. Shout out to me. Okay, period. Okay? Jesus was in there, all right? Nobody can stay zen. Jesus was pissed. He's like, yeah! Okay? Absolutely. It's best for you to be your authentic self. You'll never live up to other people's expectations. Absolutely. People come to my channel all the time. Why are you talking about this? Why are you talking about that? Shut up. I'm going to talk about what I want. You think I got this far in life? I grew up in abject poverty in the foster care system. Now I'm behind in the gated community. Okay? Now when I go to the grocery store, I'm a flex. Now when I go to the grocery store, I can drop $400 buying a bunch of knickknacks and things I don't need, and I don't have to worry about the card getting declined. Wham! Yeah, I noticed the inflation, but hey, I can still, all right? I didn't get as far as I've gotten in life giving a damn about what other people think. And it's actually, when I did care about what other people thought, that's when my life was stagnant. You get nothing from that. That's what made me want to divest. See, these dusties will be out here identifying as a dusty. Your pronoun is dust. And you mad at me. They asked you for your pronouns. You said dust, and dusty. All right? That's what you said. Now you're mad because I'm acknowledging you for who you are. When men aren't dusty, they don't acknowledge the pronoun. It's just that simple. Okay, period. Thank you for the message, positivity, and support. I'm out of the hospital, at home, recovering now. That's awesome. That's awesome, Queen Cascade. You know, yeah, you know, life is hard for Black women, and so I'm really rooting for you and always rooting for Black women's health. So I'm happy that you're doing better. Okay. Thank y'all. Appreciate. I respect Danie for being herself and creating her own lane. Do you, boo? Thank you, the Queen Cascade. Exactly. When I be hearing people talking, I'm like, oh, I know you ain't talking about me. I know you ain't talking about me because I don't participate in none of that BS. I'm not a part of any of this stuff that's going on. And I don't intend to be. I don't want to be. I've told y'all before, please soak up everything you can, because I don't intend to be on here forever doing this. I don't. This is a phase where I want to give to y'all everything that I can. But inevitably, I will be focusing on my career as an artist, which will change the content of this channel. And of course, my family, first and foremost, right? So I'm not going to be here. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Okay? I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And when I hear all the discord, I'm like, well, I know they ain't talking about me. I'm not a part of any of this. I don't know a lot about what's going on currently with beefs and stuff. I'm trying to listen in and catch up. But, if you know more than me, let me know. Let me know. Okay, Original Entity says, let's get into it. Right. Get into it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Hold on. Okay, your pronoun is Dustin. You're mad at me. Dustin, Dusty. Out of here. All right, so let's get into it. The first video that I'm going to play is going to be, so IGFUAD4L Life says, I wish I knew the beef. Right. I don't know all the beef. There's a lot of Black women content creator channels. When I talk about healing, right, I would subscribe to Black women channels that people were watching, that were growing, that were getting popular. And what I observed was a lot of them, I wasn't being like, they better be divested. I was just hoping that they were another Black woman empowerment space, right? Where it was like, you're empowering other Black women. You understand how important it is that Black women differentiate themselves from Black men. See, Black men are on code, and it's not with you, all right? So you pick niches, you failed, period. I don't care. I don't care how many super chats y'all get to pay the rent. I don't care. You have failed because you don't understand that Black men are on code with themselves. And I've accepted that. You will rarely get a decent conversation out of these guys. You will rarely get a conversation where you guys get on the same page. So, there's a lot going on. I don't know every bit. I don't. I tried to catch up on listening to the videos that people have been putting out recently. That's all I can do. Okay, in the last few days. We're going to start with Pink Pills. No, actually, I want to start with Chrissy's video on this, okay? Because I think Chrissy, I like to start with the positive. I think Chrissy had a lot of great things to say about what's happening here. Okay, so let's take a look.
Living with opioid addiction can be a struggle.
As I figured, a commercial will pop up. Shout out to Chrissy, okay, doing what smart women do, monetizing your channel, okay? All right. Our girl gonna monetize, all right? Okay, so let's listen to what Chrissy has to say, a little bit of what she had to say on this topic. I thought she put things in a very good perspective. Lace Coco says, I'll explain everything. Okay, Lace Coco, so after I play these audios, if you want to explain it in the chat, and or I can drop the StreamYard link and you can explain it vocally. You let me know how you would like to do that, because a lot of us are confused. Y'all know that's why I made this video, right? I'm like, what's going on? Okay. All right. Thank you, Lace Coco. Original Entity says, it's a lot of bait and switch, quite frankly. A lot of these creators are lining Black women up, wolf in sheep's clothing vibes, echo chambers, etc. I absolutely agree with you. It's a lot of trauma bonding, all right? And, again, let's focus on the healing, because the healing is what's going to make you successful. So, okay, let's listen to what Chrissy has to say on this. Oh, hold on. Okay, so Lace Coco, I will drop the link after I play Awesome. Thank you, Lace Coco. I appreciate you being willing to do that. So after I play this, I have a couple of audio samples that I want to play for y'all. After I play those, I'm going to bring you up, Lace Coco. I'm going to drop the link for you. Okay? So I'll drop it after we play the audio samples. Thanks again. I appreciate your willingness to help me out there. All right.
Weak. That's true, but nobody thinks I'm weak. Expect them. That Black women need corrective promotion. So platforms like this, as well as others, are necessary.
Okay, pause. Thank you, Percy. Thank you for the super chat. Percy says, "Hey to you, beautiful host. Your title got me thrown all the way off." Okay, we like to have a good time over here. Thank you, Percy, for the super chat. I really appreciate it. It's good to see you. Let's continue with what Chrissy has to say on this.
The faith factor says the problem is we come from a culture that sees being nice and level-headed as being weak. That's true, but nobody thinks I'm weak. Who thinks Chrissy's weak? Faith. I'm level-headed. I'm not always nice, but people, a lot of the divestors, the more extreme ones, they think I'm too nice. Who gonna check me? Who thinks I'm overly nice? Who thinks I'm weak? Nobody. So some of you just want to be like that because you're like that, because that's how you were conditioned to be. That's how you were raised to be. That's how Blackistan raises its girls. You don't have to say all this outlandish stuff to be considered strong or to stand on your square for people not to fuck with you. Don't nobody fuck with me like that. They don't. I'm not calling Black men bullet bags. They don't fuck with me like that. They don't like me. They don't like me just like they don't like the divestors. So some of you need to be honest that you just want to be like that, even when you don't have to be like that. Like, yeah, if you're put in a position where you have to be like that, be like that. But sometimes you don't, and you're just like that. And what I'm saying, it would be nice. It would be really nice if all of us could work together and get along and work towards the same goal for Black women like Black men do, instead of having all this animosity towards one another. But unfortunately, at this time, it's not possible with Black women, at least not right now. Nobody wants to respect the other's lane. If you want to be hypergamous, you want to be feminine or play the game to level up in society, then it's a problem for the Black women who want to quote unquote keep it real all the time and be ratchet. For the Black women who want to be ratchet, it's a problem for Black women who don't. So what's happening is there's a class war taking place, and we can't come together for a common purpose to serve Black women. And maybe because this space is still kind of new, maybe it's just going to take a minute for us to get there. I mean, I think it's always going to be a class war. It's always going to be a fight. But maybe it's going to, like where Black men are at, where they still kind of come together when they need to come together, maybe it's going to take a little while for us to get there. But I'm going to be real with you. It's very hard to join forces with some of these women who shoot down any and everything that will help the image of Black women, whether it be corrective promotion, Black women in luxury, femininity education, hypergamy for Black women, all of that. That's what makes it impossible for different facets of women to work together like Black men do. We make it impossible for each other. And I'm going to just put it like this. The women who are still in their anger phase about Black men, you'll eventually come to the conclusion that we're at. You can't stay there forever. You can't stay there forever. And many of you, not all of you, some of you will stay there, but many of you, you're eventually going to branch off and you're going to understand why image and how you present yourself day to day matters. Right now, there's nothing I can say to change you. There's nothing anybody else can say to change you. You're just stuck in wanting to rage about Black men all day. So all I'm saying is that allow them to have a platform to do that, but just stay in your lane. Like, you want us to stay in our lane, stay in yours. But when you're ready to cross over and talk about other shit and really work on your level up journey, you'll have other platforms to go to. That's why various platforms are needed for different phases that Black women are in.
Sleep matters at Raymore and Flanagan.
Commercial. Okay, so I think Chrissy is saying a lot of great things here, right? And I agree with her. You know, I want to call her Mama Chrissy because I feel like Chrissy is just a very necessary part of Black women YouTube, right? And she's done so much for so many people. You know, Chrissy has admitted that she used to be, you know, dare I say, Black male identified. She's admitted to that. And that meant a lot to me. I'm not going to lie, you guys. It did. Because I didn't mess with her when she was BM identified. Right? I did not mess with her like that. Because there was so many people just going against swirlers because people didn't like Beyond Black and White, right? They didn't like her message, which at the time, I didn't think her message was too bad, you know? I thought, hey, she's just acknowledging that Black women are in interracial relationships. I'm in an interracial relationship. I don't see what's wrong with that, right? But it felt like there was, and these content creators have their own personal issues beyond what we see on YouTube, okay? Regarding every interaction that they have with each other. I know that now. I've had interactions with content creators where I'm like, whoa, I gotta feel differently about you. And one thing that I can say is I really feel that Chrissy's evolution, her journey was sincere. I believe that. And I understand why she is hesitant to trust other Black women in this space. And I will make it loud and clear. When she's ready to trust other Black women in this space again, I would love to do a collaboration with her because I you know, she has so many great intellectual, educated things to say. And I think she's a good example for other Black women. So, and her message has been consistent for several years now. About Black women empowerment, right? So again, shout out to Chrissy. Let's see. No one rages against Black men all day. We discuss the dangers. You know what? I'm gonna absolutely agree with you, Tay Love. I know I don't rage against them. It doesn't matter what you do or what you say. Like I literally made a video, which my steelies, Black women, y'all watched that video and y'all supported that video about the 18-year-old prodigy who was the lead singer of No Doubt, right? John Spence. You guys watched that video. That video is about a Black man, a Black man's life. So miss me with the bullshit. If I want to call you guys dusty, I'm talking about the dusties. I'm talking about the dysfunctional ones. You're not going to be praised over here. Unless you're a prodigy, okay? Unless you doing great things. Come on. I told you guys, I think Malcolm X is one, I said it many times. I think Malcolm X is one of the greatest men who've ever lived. But the dusties will get mad because I'm talking about dusties. Then you're triggered because I'm talking about you. I'm talking about your dusty ass. And I don't give a fuck. But what you couldn't find is you can't find me hating on y'all. You couldn't find a video. I don't do that. I talk about the dysfunction within the Black community, which is my right, because as a Black person who grew up in the Black community, who had to raise my father's kids, who had to grow up in the foster care system because my daddy didn't do the way a daddy's supposed to do, because a daddy does, who had to deal with the crack cocaine epidemic, I have a right to talk about these things, and so do my steelies, so do my subscribers. They have a right to speak about dysfunction. We speak about the dysfunction from our body. Yes, we do. But make no mistake about it. If your feelings get hurt in the discussion, if it don't apply, let it fly. If your feelings get hurt, then it must apply. And I don't care if you're triggered. But again, you know, like Chrissy talks about, she's like, I didn't come in here, I don't say these outlandish things about black men, but it doesn't matter. You can say, I wish they made a little bit more money. You can say that, and they're going to be in your comments calling you a mammy and telling you that you ain't ish and calling you a b-wench because you said I wish they just make a little bit more money. I wish they would just compete with other men. Here they come. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like, miss me with the BS. Exactly. Like, no one's... I'm not talking about you as a man. I'm talking about the conditions in this community. Not you individually, personally. I don't know you, and I don't care. Okay. From my understanding, they are correlating the rate of femicide with what black women are saying online about black men. However, I grew up in the 90s, and it was the same thing happening then. Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that original entity. This has been a problem for a very long time. Absolutely. I think we have an issue with petty disagreements and not seeing the bigger issue. Yep. There's a lot of egos. I think the egos play into it. A lot of people got egos in this. So you can't talk about, and we even see this politically with black people. They splinter off. They create various different factions, and nobody's on the same page because everybody wants to talk about how they were the first and they are the leader, and they put more into it than other people, and you know what I'm saying? If we agree on the most important things, then the smaller things don't matter. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Femicide rate is way too high, and these black men are dangerous. We just keep in the same energy the men gave to us for 10 years. Yeah. But is it warranted? Is it justified? Every action has a reaction. Every action has a reaction. There's no action that you can do, all right? And then sometimes I'll post something. I posted a picture of Jack Harlow in Young Miami. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, this is cute. They in their feelings about it. I'm speaking truth. That there were dusties in their feelings about seeing these two people together. I thought they were cute. If they became a couple, great. That was the extent of my post. But yet I had multiple people being like, why are you praising white men? Why are you triggering black men? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, is that what happened? Is that what happened? Or are you projecting? Are you projecting on me? Because you're too scared and too lazy to go to the content creators who are actually triggering you on this ish. Because it ain't me. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I'm not here for a bunch of bullshit. I had a hard life. YouTube is not gonna be a part of my story of a hard life. There are people in this sector where YouTube is part of the story of their hard life. I've been through real shit. Stop projecting on me what you're too scared to say to larger content creators. I appreciate that, right? So people was doing that to me. Not you, Taylor, obviously, but I'm talking about like people do that to me in my posts, in my videos, and it gets annoying. It really does. You gotta learn how to compartmentalize. Y'all gotta learn how to direct the energy of your anger. You need to direct it into working out. Every morning I wake up and I'm like, I want justice for the world, right? And so I get my ass on the bike and I work out for 45 minutes. Do some stretches, do some lifting afterwards. And I work my rage out there so that throughout my day, I'm not popping off at people with misdirected anger, right? There's no way you're divested and you can't control that anger. You can have the anger, but you got to learn how to control it. Maya Angelou says, dance it, sing it, write it, talk it. Never stop talking it. Never stop talking about what makes you angry. I believe in that. But you got to control that anger. Don't let it control you. I've told you guys multiple times, we have a mental health crisis with Black men in America right now because, as Sadhguru says, you keep playing with your sanity and you're gonna lose it. They'd rather be insane than to work on controlling themselves. So, insane people have no accountability because they're insane. That's BS. You control your mind doesn't control you. That's something I emphasize on this channel. Why are you trying to trigger Black men? What the fuck is you talking about? I posted a picture of Jack Harlow and Young Miami. If they're triggered from that, whose fucking fault is that? Why are you projecting onto me what you want to say to bigger content creators? Because you know that their subscribers would drag you. I appreciate that. I'm up here doing hard work. It's easy to be low vibrational. All right, that's my little rant. Lace Coco says she disagrees, and we're going to see. Disagree with what? Well, we'll see when when Lace Coco catches us up on what the hell is happening here. Malcolm was the greatest Black man, period. Okay. I couldn't be with a Black man that wasn't Malcolm X. I'm sorry, I couldn't. When I look at Betty Shabazz, I think, what a lucky woman. I mean, the years she spent with him must have been phenomenal. To listen to him speak. That smile. All right. We're going too far. He was a good man, and I have a lot of respect for his work. Okay. I'm matching the same energy of Black men. You know what? I agree with that, Lace Coco. I don't think Black women will ever be able to match that energy. I don't think Black women will ever be able. And see, I think some Black women are trying. They're trying to match that energy. They're trying to inflict the same amount of damage on them that they inflicted on us, on their image, the way they've inflicted on our image. You can't. You could never. They've gone too far. These toxic dusties have gone too far. They're men, and they utilize male privilege. It may not be much for them, but it's more than what we got as women. And they have done everything in their power to make sure everybody's pointing at Black women and laughing at Black women and not pointing at them and laughing at them. Meanwhile, the dysfunction grows. Their dysfunction grows. The mental health crisis grows. Because they're never held accountable. Okay, appreciate the misses. When I teach these kids, they'll say, Miss. And I'm like, can you please say my name? Say my name. You can at least say Miss Danie. All right, but it's Mrs. Because I want you guys to understand I was married. Okay. As Halle Berry said in one of those movies where she played a tragic mulatto, Oz Nigra. Okay. I was like, what the hell? Oz Nigra. I never heard that in my life. Halle Berry is amazing. She really is. And she's played a lot of roles where she's been biracial. Right? So a lot of times people will be like, oh, I didn't know she's biracial. I'm like, well, she's played a biracial in a multitude of movies. She's clearly biracial. Okay. This is my story too, Danie. We have seen the worst of the community, so the POV is no filter. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's always the bottom, right? It's always just the worst ish gets pushed through, and I hate that. No, I meant with name calling, they drag us, so we drag them back. But that is literally the smallest part. Most people I watch tell us to level up our lives and get therapy. Aw, shout out to y'all being nice to each other. You guys know I love that. They can't take constructive criticism and rejection. That's exactly it, Queen Cascade. I'm like, I gotta be kissing your ass 247. You can't have a conversation with someone unless they're kissing your ass. But no, wait, I be hearing y'all in these clubhouse rooms talking to these intellectual racists. Every week there'll be some intellectual racists in there intellectualizing why they're racist to black people. And black men will sit there, they'll pause, they'll listen, they'll talk, they'll let the person speak. I was in a room the other day. The guy was like, you guys aren't going to be loud and talk all over each other like you do in all the other spaces on Clubhouse. And I've been in a lot of Clubhouse rooms, a lot of professional rooms, and they only do that on the black streets of Clubhouse. So he was directing that towards black people, and it's like, why is your intellectually racist ass in those rooms getting off on it? Don't. The point is, they'll listen when they feel like they have to. But I rarely see them trying to listen to black women and where black women's perspective is and where black women are coming from. And it's like, bruh, I don't have low racial esteem. That's most of y'all statistically. I don't have a low racial esteem. I've educated myself. But the bottom line is, I'm not here to placate you. I'm not here to coddle you. If you don't want to have the conversation, but my steelies that are women can sit in the room and we can have the hard conversations about what we need to do to grow and where black women have messed up and how we can learn from that. And y'all don't want to listen to how you can learn and be a better man to freedom, then you know what? Oh, well, deuces. Fuck out of here. What I like about this channel is that Danie uses facts and actually holds these men accountable. Exactly. Thank you, Tay Love. Anybody? These are ideas I have. Okay? These are statistical facts that I've studied. I'm sitting here. I'm anti-racist. I fight against racism. I fight against racism of anti-black racism of black people to make this world a better place for black children. If you can't handle me holding you accountable after I've done work for you, then you're a bum and you're dusty. Okay, period. What's up, Shetty? Good to see you. Everyone in the room, please thumbs up the video and subscribe. Thank you, Taylor. Mental health and therapy, I advocate for it. Absolutely. It saved my life. It saved my life. And again, talk therapy is not for everyone. Most therapists are not qualified to help black women through what Blackistan has done. I will acknowledge that. But I was able to find a multiracial woman of color with black lineage, to help me. And so I know it's possible. And again, like I said, my world was talking about how black women can be a lot because we've gone through a lot. And so we can be a lot on people who aren't just starting to acknowledge their trauma. We can be a lot on people who, you see what I'm saying? That'll stop you from getting a good man. That'll stop you from having good friends. Again, I know that there are people in my life who decided she's too much. Every time I talk to her, she gets loud, she's cursing, she's crying. I do it all. Okay? I don't want to deal with it. I'm not used to it. I don't want to deal with it. I know that there are people in my life who decide to no longer be a part of my life because of that. Then I have to let them go. So fly to sky high, butterfly, fly into the sky, okay? You don't want to be around me because I'm going through it and I wasn't blessed to be on the page that you're at and you're healing. You see what I'm saying? Then be on your way. But Black women that are finally starting to acknowledge the pain that they're in, they don't deserve to be lectured for that. That's a journey everyone has been on who's in a better place now, right? My favorite part of divestment is when other Black women tell me to get my degree in nursing, work out, and get your mental health correct. It's more than dating for me. That's why I love these spaces. Exactly. Dating is the last thing you need to be worried about if you're not divested. Dating is the last thing you need to be worried about. There's so many women that'll talk about how, oh yeah, well, I got with a white guy and he cheated on me, and because you didn't divest. You didn't do the internal work. You didn't do the healing necessary. You didn't level up. Switching to just switching races. What is that? Who would advocate for just that? A bunch of women that don't understand divestment. Because no way. You got to do the internal work. Good to see you, Black Widow Rogue. Okay. Education, health, and God first, then dating. Absolutely. There might be some atheists or agnostic people here. That's fine. But yes, that internal work. So you know that you are giving what you expect to receive. I see a lot of Black women talk about, hey, I want my future husband to come from a big, loving family. I want his family to love me. That's asking a lot, especially when a lot of y'all can admit you come from dysfunctional families. So you're coming from a dysfunctional family, but your future husband's family must love you, or what? You're not going to be with him? You're going to have a good man, his family don't love you, which statistically is not going to happen for you. There are women that are the same race, same ethnicity, same religion as the men that they marry, and their in-laws don't love them. You got to pay attention, Black women, to what you're asking for and what you're giving and what you're willing to give. Nobody is allowed to just show up. You expect him to put in work and not just show up. You need to put in work as well. But guess what? The work doesn't have to be for him. It should be for you. That way you can say, you know what? I know who I am. I know what I have to offer. And you're not giving me what I want. I'm going to move along and look for the next, the good guy that's out there. Right? Oh, Taylor's an emphasis on God. Oh. Okay, Malcolm Shabazz X. Rest in peace. Greatest man to ever do it. They had to copy the rappers. Can you imagine what this community would look like if they copied Malcolm? But instead they chose Malcolm's teachings are Prince. But instead they chose to copy rappers. And I'm supposed to coddle you? I don't think so. I feel in my heart Malcolm really loved Black women and he wanted the best for us and our image. Oh, he absolutely did. He absolutely did. I've studied him for years. Several years ago, I kind of became obsessed. Okay? And this was during a time when I wasn't on YouTube because I felt like I need to do internal work. I can't be on here talking to people about what they need to do when I got a lot of work to do internally. Malcolm was the most amazing Black man to ever live. Don't like Malcolm because he is light green. Exactly. They mad. Malcolm's my preference. Right. I literally read so much about him, including the bad, but he came out and did so well and spoke so well about Black women. Absolutely, Tay Love. Malcolm made mistakes. He acknowledges the mistakes that he made. And a lot of people don't acknowledge the change that he made from thinking just because a person was Black that they were right or that they were good. He realized on his last journey to Mecca, he realized, wait, I'm meeting people who care about humanity, who care about Black equality as much as I do, and they're white. It's only in America, it's not only in America, but places like America, right, that have this outdated, extremist anti-Black mentality. But I don't have to think that everyone is one way. That's an American thing to push. I don't have to do that. People don't want to acknowledge his growth. And people, just like these divestors, people have a right to grow. Okay? They have a right to grow. So let's hear a little bit more what Chrissy has to say, and then we'll move on. Oh, hold on.
Don't push back against common sense and what's going to help them in their image. I'm to the point where I am rocking with the Black women who are on the same page as me. And for those who aren't, go where you relate to the most. Kenneth says, Chrissy is a gay Black man. I'm Black female identified. I don't think it's fair that Black men like the ones on Fresh and Fit podcast can call Black women night riders, and Black women can't at least jokingly call Black men names for a kiki. Look, I don't care what you call them. Like I said earlier, I don't care what you call them. I'm personally not sensitive to that. I'm worried about the target that it puts on many Black women's back. I said that earlier. I don't know if you came in here late, but yeah, you're allowed to jokingly call Black men names for a kiki, as you put it, but you have to understand what comes with that. And you have to understand that you're a woman. You're not a woman. So if a Black man comes at you, you can use your male strength to fight back. I don't care how feminine you are or how, Black female identified you are. You're still a man. We're not. We have to worry about being women and fighting men. Okay? So again, be angry, call the names, but know what comes with that. Know the potential consequences and repercussions that come with that. That's all I'm saying. Don't be in denial about that. And don't be mad when other Black women, to save themselves, want to disassociate from that. Because we don't want to get fucked up with your ass. So understand that. That's all I'm saying. And with all due respect, this is a woman's conversation. You don't have to worry about the same things we have to worry about. Yeah, you're marginalizing your own way, but you still have the strength of a fucking man. We don't.
That part, right? Again, people have come to my channel projecting off of constructive criticism. I don't criticize men more than Kevin Samuels criticizes Black women. I do not. So, and you guys have legitimized Kevin Samuels. You've made him a millionaire. You've legitimized him, Black men. And his main flex is denigrating Black women and denigrating Black women's image. That's reality. So you legitimized him, you made him a millionaire, but when Black women are in the space doing the same, you want to come. Some dude was like, oh, you a mammy, and you mad because you wasted your life. See, you can't pull those fucking talking points that y'all pull on these other bitches. I never fell for the okie doke, nigga. Let's be clear. My life has been amazing, bruh. Fuck. I don't stuck on y'all because I don't think it's nice. Get the fuck out of here. You can Google me, bitch. Okay, sorry. Ooh, okay. All right. Wasted my life? No, motherfucker, you wasted yours. I don't know who the fuck you are. That's a joke. You don't know shit about me. I've had some of the most amazing experiences. I've lived in New York for over a decade. Sat in bars, mingling, dancing, talking to, getting hit on by celebrities. Working on the stage in New York. Being on major film sets. I've had an extraordinary life. But they'll come here projecting. And y'all need to support the women who are out here showing their face, who are out here putting themselves on the line. Y'all do need to support those women. As Chrissy's explaining, like, I have a brand. People come to me all the time on social media. It has nothing to do with dating, I'll be honest. What I get asked to collaborate with people for regarding my social media work is body-focused repetitive disorders, talking about cheek biting, which y'all probably know nothing about. The work I do with that and enlightening and educating people of all races about body-focused repetitive behavior disorders, specifically cheek biting. People come to me to talk about foster care and my anti-racism reparations work. And then some nobody Dusty will sit there and come in and have his little insults. I'm like, bro, you're not alive in my world. You don't matter. So, again, y'all know good and damn well y'all not out in the real world talking to these dudes like that. Because you gotta stay safe, right? And men can move and do move differently than women. And you have to be cognizant of that. There's no care or consideration for the women who are putting their faces out there talking about these subjects and that being conflated with all the extremism. You can say it's not extremism, but it is. And that's fine. Like I said, it's fine to be that way. Like Chrissy's saying, that's fine, but you have to acknowledge that. You can't play like you don't understand what's going on. You're approaching these topics in an extreme way. Let's continue.
I said what I said. Exactly. That's another good point. Remember the mental repercussions to your headspace too. Exactly. Exactly. And the
fast free 1 to 3
commercials is what it is. I gotta play the audio because hey, people don't play about their content. So
they're gonna attack us anyway. Okay. You're inviting more danger when you do that. I'm trying to tell y'all, but listen, these women are gonna have to learn on their own. There's nothing we can say. They're gonna have to learn on their own. That's why I said, I'm gonna say what I have to say, and I'm moving on. I'm gonna respect the space and let it exist. I'm saying this for a reason because I've been seeing this divide for a long time, and I think that if it's since we can't come to a common ground and work together at this time, we need to both stay in our lanes and do our own things on our own platform. Stop trying to police what the others are doing. If you want to be angry, I'm gonna let you be angry. But if I want to talk level up and femininity, let me do that and shut the fuck up. Okay.
Period.
Okay. Let's all stay in our lane. We can have an opinion about each other. I'm not mad at that, but stop trying to control what we do. Because it goes both ways. And that was my point of doing this video. And something else I want to say before I go. These savage divestors, they aren't new. It's just a new crop of them. Okay?
That right there. I keep telling y'all, again, when I started my channel, it was some savage divestors that, they weren't calling them that. They weren't calling them divestors. But make no mistake about it, it was some savage conversation going on here. And what astounds me are women that contributed into that savage conversation seemingly now trying to lecture the women that are doing it now. You know, that's kind of astounding and weird. Because it's like, you had your run with it. You had your run with it. So why are you trying to act like you don't understand what's going on here?
And I'm not sure if other content creators have amnesia or what, but the older divestors and the swirlers who aren't as angry anymore, y'all were harassing me and other pro-Black women when we first came online, calling us mammies. You were calling Black men names as well. So I don't understand why some people are acting like they're new or something, or that they always been above this kind of thing. Like, they didn't start calling it out and talking about quote unquote strategy until they realized how bad of a look it was for them to be talking like that, and how it was putting a target on them in the backs of other Black women. Because see, when I said that y'all need to watch what you say, and I understand maybe you wrote me off because I was a mammy, but I said this a long time ago. Before I became pro-Black woman, I talked about how a lot of y'all were a little bit too extreme and how you were making Black women look a certain way and how you were putting other Black women in danger. I said that a long time ago. If y'all remember, for those who know, you know. You've been here, you know. But a lot of the people who are talking shit about the new divestors, you know, the people who have swirling platforms, I won't say any names, but their followers attack me with the same shit. So I'm trying to figure out where down the line you became so high and mighty and you was above this shit. I'm trying to figure out when that happened. Because again, I didn't see nobody calling out nothing until you realized how bad of a look it was and how it was putting a target on your back and the backs of the Black women who you are cool with. And the real issue with certain content creators in this space, certain older content creators in this space, is that they're upset that the hateful divestors that they helped to create are now kicking them out of the group. I know that probably triggers some of you, but that's what it is. Because I see them, you know, starting shit, trying to get attention on the YouTube, right? And releasing all these archive videos. One in particular was addressing me. They released several videos of them addressing, you know, me and other content creators, but they addressed one in particular that was addressing me. But they aren't releasing all the videos. That's what I think is interesting. You released the video after the 2 videos that you did threatening to dox me and all that other shit. Why didn't you release that one? Why didn't you release that one? Oh, because it doesn't make you look good, does it? Mine is still up. My videos are still up. My mammy videos are still up. Most of them are still up. And you know what? We'll go over some of them one day and we'll talk about my old mammy ways and we'll talk about the videos. But they're still up because I'm not embarrassed by them. That's my transition. But I find it funny that certain people only want to put up videos that make them look good, that don't show the full story of everything that was happening back then. Some of these women or their following were just as mean, just as hateful as today's divestors. And they helped create those women. So, you know, and I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just funny to me to hear them say, you know, oh, you're so hateful when they're the ones who started the whole abort male Black babies. I don't. You started the whole abort Black male baby thing, like, and now you're mad that other women are just as extreme and repeating what you said back then. It's weird. It's weird. Have you forgotten how extreme your following was? Have you forgotten? I talked about this years ago.
Having a 5G phone that's not on T-Mobile?
Oh my God, the commercials. Yeah, so
women and their following were just as mean, just as hateful as today's divestors. So while you guys are listening to old videos, I suggest you do your research and also listen to my responses. You need to get my side of what was going on then, because the whole story isn't being told. These women were hateful, they were extremely confrontational, and threatened to dox me, but then said they didn't threaten to dox me when that's what they did. And now they're up on here trying to act like they were always so above that behavior when they were not. They were not. So release all the videos. Release the ones when you was calling me ugly and all that shit. Release that one. Like, why are you, like, I don't understand. And then the black women under the video talking about, oh, I didn't know Chrissy said all of this. You don't know what they said either, because they hide in certain videos. People do that all to sneak diss them later or go on and on about what they did to you in the past. If you don't like them or you don't forgive them and you're not over it, stand in that shit. Don't be an opportunist. Don't pretend like you forgive them because you're trying to use them. Then when you don't gain whatever it is you were trying to gain from them, you start pouring out all of your ill feelings you had all along. People see through you. They know you. They knew you had resentment the whole time. They know you don't like them. Be honest from jump about how you feel. Not every black woman in this space will get along, so don't force it. If you don't like a bitch, you don't like them. If you can't relate to them, you can't relate. Stop using people for their platforms and their channels on a come up that you don't like. That's something Chrissy's never done. If I say I'm sorry to you, I mean it. If I make up with you, I mean it. I'm not gonna join forces with you and say, oh, you know, we're gonna let bygones be bygones and we're gonna be cool for the sisterhood. When I said that, I meant it. Some other people didn't. And people see that you were full of shit. That's why they don't like you. That's why they don't fuck with you like that. Because they saw through your opportunistic bullshit. So stand on your square. If you don't like somebody, you don't like them. Stop lying about it. If I don't let them stick their dick in you, oh my God.
All right, so Chrissy goes on to say,
basically, too, y'all know y'all baby daddies look like Nelly. Like, stop.
Okay. One of the things that Chrissy says is, right, that a lot of the extreme talk is giving Blackistan. You're talking about divesting from Blackistan, but it's giving Blackistan, right? And it's not like you have to be prissy and talk about things in a certain way. No. But look, when I was in undergrad and grad school, critical thinking was difficult for me. I was not in a divested mind frame, in that I didn't know how to think for myself. So everything was based on how I grew up, what I was told when I grew up, what the church told me, what teachers told me, what the adults in my life told me. And I was in school and I was being asked to think critically. And I didn't know how to do it. I'd never been taught how to do it. And I would get angry and feel like this is very classist, that I can't speak the way I want to speak because you want me to sound like I'm, you know. There's a difference between having to talk prissy and classism and thinking critically, okay? And I would just encourage women who are in a space where they're very angry to think more critically, to think more objectively. At some point, you're going to have to heal, or it'll eat you alive. At some point, you're going to have to divest from what no longer serves you. And anger that is misdirected, anger that is not controlled, being controlled by your emotions instead of you controlling your emotions, that does not serve you. It will not serve you. Right? So again, Chrissy made a really great point where she was like, y'all talking about divesting from Blackistan, but you are Blackistan. When you have misdirected anger, low vibrational conversations, I've seen people throwing shade my way, and I'm like, me? Unproblematic me? You gotta be kidding me. I don't care what you've been through. Statistically, you haven't been through what I've been through in this life. Throwing shade my way when I don't throw shade nobody's way? Subs? I don't have a problem with nobody because I'm focused on myself. So if you have a problem with me, you got bigger problems. You got bigger problems. You shouldn't have a problem with somebody that doesn't care that you exist. That's a waste of your time. I don't care why you don't like me. Grow. Heal. Take care of yourself. Okay, I'm going to still do me. I'm going to still be me. All day, every day. I'm going to still point out hypocrisy. I'm going to still point out the shit that I think doesn't fly. You don't like it? Tough. You feel like I'm invalidating you? Tough. But don't throw subs my way. I catch all subs. Okay? I don't miss a thing. So let's move on to what the Pink Pill had to say about this topic. If you will see on the screen, I'm sharing with y'all a tweet Jody Turner-Smith tweeted a while back. Hey Siri, what is a bedwench, and why are there black men in my DMs calling me that? I had to ask Siri the same question. Okay? So it doesn't matter what you say and what you do. Let's talk about these pick-me's, for example. The pick-me's need Black women empowerment spaces, divested spaces. They need us to make content. Because the reality is, if they're not teaming up with these manospheres, these dusty manospheres against Black women empowerment, divested spaces, if they just got online and talked about Black love, they would be attacked by the Black manospheres for it. They wouldn't be able to just, that's what happened to, which I call her Iron Bang. She was on here talking about Black love, right? And the evil adenoids. And pushing the rhetoric of the B-Wench. That's one of the reasons why I don't know a lot about what goes on with what she says in her channel, because unless it's something that's, you know, very much viral, I don't watch it. I don't watch people that don't support me. Her rhetoric, where she co-signed these manospheres calling Black women who dated interracially B-Wenches. I had to make my videos through that. All right? And be a young woman in an interracial relationship thinking, wow, I'm doing more for my family than my parents ever did for me. I'm setting a fine example. I'm not letting addiction win. Right? I'm not addicted to anything. I'm in school, studying, working hard, bringing home a good man. And I'm being called all these names. And then they're telling me, oh, you're not supposed to talk about Black issues because once you date a white person, when statistically, all the men that talk about these issues have slept with and or dated non-Black women. They changed the rules and all that, yada, yada. So, again, I'm going to be honest. I didn't find her journey. So we're being honest. This is an honest time. I didn't, like I said, y'all call her Iron Bang. I didn't come up with that. Okay. I didn't find her journey to be sincere. And I know a lot of people watch, and she's very popular, and that's great. Look, I don't hate on nobody. I'm talking about YouTube facts and things that happen on YouTube. I did not find her transition from evil adenoids and denigrating Black women who dated interracially to now being a leader of Black women that are divested. I didn't find that transition to be authentic. This is what they did to us for years. Jodie Turner-Smith never said or did nothing to nobody. She tweeted, someone said to me that they always thought I only liked white, light-skinned men. No, reality. Growing up, dark men told me I wasn't attractive. These guys were saying, oh, that's not true. That's not true. We didn't tell her that she wasn't attractive. As if they were there. When I grew up the same way, oh, they would say it, but then behind the scenes, they were trying to sleep with you, constantly pestering you to sleep with you, right? Constantly disrespecting your Christianity, constantly disrespecting how they know we grow up in extremely Christian homes where premarital sex is looked down on, constantly trying to make you break that as a woman. No respect. So stop with the narrative and the idea that if Black women date interracially, they can't speak about Black issues because ain't supposed to be happy with Black. It don't stop it from being Black. And any video I've had has acknowledged that. Me being with my husband has never stopped a Black man from hitting on me. I can't talk about my experiences. Yeah, yes, I can, and I will. Okay. Let me catch up on some of y'all comments real quick, and then I'm gonna move on to Pink Pill's video on this. Can't get everything because I'm trying to. Thank you, Mocha Mommy. Good to see you. I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Chrissy is right. Those older investors used to be violent as fuck. And now they are turning around and talking down on Gen Z. Honestly, Gen Z is young. I understand. Gen X doesn't seem to get that. Exactly. Absolutely 100, Black Widow Road. That's exactly it. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. Okay, level up, level up, level up. Comprehension is an issue in our community. Absolutely. The Queen Cascade again. And I believe the Queen Cascade, if I'm not mistaken, is in the UK, right? This is a global diaspora issue. Critical thinking skills. I'm telling y'all outright. Thinking critically is something you have to work on. It's something you have to hone. And that's why I was in undergrad and grad school, and people would be like, what do you think about it? And I'd be like, who cares? I honestly was like, who cares? I know what the community thinks about it. I know what the church has to say about it. What I have to say about it, I've never thought of it. You got to start thinking for yourself. I didn't even know it was divestment until being in these YouTube streets. We just call it dating out here. Exactly. Exactly. But make no mistake about it. They were out here being just as ruthless, and now they want to play pretend. That's why I said respect goes to Chrissy because she's been transparent about where she came from. I don't respect you was sitting up here contributing to this chaos, and now you're trying to pretend like this the ASCOP open race. Every Duke and Earl and Pia is Pia. Like, no, that's not what you was on. Cut the cat. I've always dated IR but it felt just like dating. Divestment blew up IR dating big time. Even when I say I date IR, Black women be surprised. It feels like I'm coming out about something. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've had women be like, really? And just stop what they're doing, change their body language. This is in real life. Where I'd be like, my husband is white. They'd be like, oh, because you see, they would see the rock on my hand. They would be like, I'm engaged or I'm married too. And I'm just being honest. It would be to a Black man. They would have a significantly smaller rock than I have. And I'd be like, well, my husband's white. Oh. And then all of a sudden, it's all these subliminals. And yeah, you got a big rock, but oh, his family didn't accept you. I'm pretty sure your man's family don't accept you neither. They always starting some BS. So what you talking about? But again, this idea, divesting and interracially dating and stuff, people have really used it to vilify Black women who date interracially. You know, and it's like a lot of us are the ones out here helping the community, helping other Black women and children. No, we're not living Black male identified. And I know that pick-me's think that helps the Black community, but it doesn't. Put it into work. I've given my time, energy, money. I brought food for Black families. I've been doing that my whole damn life. So put some respect on Black women who are out here making a difference, no matter who they're married to. All right, let's listen to what Pink Pill has to say about this. I'm going to play a little bit of hers, and then I'm going to bring Lace Coco up. Lace Coco, if you're on a schedule and you have to leave, I'll bring you up earlier, so just let me know. Thanks for sticking around and being here, because I know we're already an hour and 30 in. So, hi, late to the live, but listening. It's good to see you. Love like Java. You're right on time, okay? You have what we call discernment, wolf in sheep's clothes, a sidekick too. Exactly. Have to have discernment. Have to. All right, let's listen to Pink Pill's perspective on this. She recently dropped a video as well. Again, this is all YouTube content that I'm playing. It's nothing to do with anything personal. Let's listen to what Pink Pill has to say.
Celebrity.
Commercials. That's okay, because if you play my content, you get commercials too. So I respect the women that monetize. Shout out to the women that, you know, get paid for their intellectual work. All right, here we go.
A viral campaign called No Wedding, No Womb that was tweeted 100,000 times in one night, was carried by the Associated Press, Essence Magazine, Ebony, Chicago Tribune. I've been on the covers of magazines. I've been in McLean's, and I get zero fucking respect from the women in this community. Zero respect. I have done more than any of you in this space. I have put my neck out as a public figure for this cause more than anyone. There is nobody, and when I say nobody in this space that has done what I have done, there isn't. And yet I have been maligned, I have been lied on. I've had women turn their backs on me, women who said that they were cool with me for years, and then all of a sudden something new and shiny comes along and I'm trash. But you know what? The history books will be kind to me, because how many of these cartoon characters have books with citations from the work that they've done, or scholarly articles that have work that they have done, I have been that. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm saying that to say to you, I have been a foot soldier for this. And I cannot stand to see what it has become. It has become a coon party where Black women are sitting on the front porch, just insulting, cackling, doing the same stuff that they did when they were in Blackistan, but they're doing it here. And that is not really what divestment is about. You're not divested. If you're taking your same ratchet mentality and you're just transferring it to another, you're not divested. If you say to a woman, if you talk to a Black man, if you have any relationship with a Black man, if you have a Black son, you're not truly divested. That is some dumb shit, and I'm going to tell you why it's dumb shit. It is so simplistic. It's like you got this tool, and you're like, I got a hammer. I got a hammer. It's this new tool. I got a hammer. And everything looks like a nail. And if you have a hammer and that's the only tool you got, everything looks like a nail. So you can't see the forest from the trees. Your binary thinking of, I don't have to think, as long as he's a Black man, he's bad. Anything that's not Black, that's not a Black man is good. I'm gonna be okay. You're an idiot. Because divestment does not mean you follow a binary type of philosophy where there is only Black and white and there is no shades of gray. When you are a divested person, you are putting self first, and you are also doing what is best for you as a person. That means nobody can freaking tell you who you can or cannot align yourself with. That is contrary to divestment. How the fuck are you going to tell somebody that they can't talk to, be with, commune with, have any kind of relationship with anybody, and yet call yourself a divestor if divestors means you get to do what the fuck you want to do?
It has been a long day here.
Have done a viral campaign called No Wedding, No Womb that was tweeted 100,000 times, and thinking of, I don't have to think, as long as he's a Black man, divested, because you're talking to a Black man on Clubhouse. Huh? Listen, or calling people mammies. How fucking dare you call me and Kendall mammies? Are you serious? You were picking your nose and eating your boogers when we were doing this stuff. And I got...
Okay, so pause. What I want to say is I agree and disagree with some of the things that Pink Pill is saying here. I agree that if you're divested, you need to be focusing on yourself and not what other people are doing. And if you are highly focused on what other people are doing, you're not divested. You're not doing that internal awakening work. You can't be talking about just it being a movement. It's not some club. It's not some cult where you have to follow rules or you don't get to participate. That's not the way that it works. It's not. And y'all can try to change it to be that way, but that's not the way that it works. So I agree with Pink Pill on that notion. I do not agree that divesting is doing whatever the fuck you want, because what you might want to do is be a complacent Black male identified woman. And I think that has been harmful to our community. We talk about Gen X and Boomer vintage pygmishas, and a large critical mass of Gen X and Boomer Black women are vintage pygmishas, because what they want to do is be Black male identified. And that has not helped Black women and children. That has not helped Black girls. That has not helped Black boys. Every community, there's the woman, there's the man. The man has his ideas about what he wants, and then the woman understands what she has to do as a woman. And these guys can sit here and say that Black women aren't feminine, but the bottom line is every other race of women, you will see those women behind the scenes smacking those guys upside the head saying, you need to do this for me because I'm a woman and I have children and it needs to be like this for me as a woman and for these children. Not saying to the men, oh yeah, do whatever suits you, do whatever's best for you, and we're all just changing men to it. So the Black male identified approach that a lot of boomer, Gen X, vintage pygmishas have had has been destructive. And they were doing what they want. Divestment is not about doing what you want. It's about acknowledging no longer participating in things that no longer serve you. What does that mean? That means that you have to come to an understanding that as a Black woman, the world wants me to be their mule. The world expects me to be the sacrifice. I'll no longer do it. And whatever my life looks like, because I've made the choice to no longer put other people before me and my needs and my goals and my wants. That's the internal awakening work of divestment. It's not just doing whatever you want, okay? Also, as Chrissy pointed out, Pink Pill had to find out the hard way by being the face of swirling and interracial dating. She found out the hard way what putting your face out there, putting your name out there, how much that'll cost you. And I observed when I first started watching her over a decade ago, a woman who wasn't aware of that. She wasn't aware of the impact that it would later cause. That's what I observed. Okay? And now she gets it. After, people have doxed her and sent letters to her neighbors and, put her children information out there. All things that I think are absolutely horrific and no one should have to be put through that on some social media-ish. That's what they did. And now we live in a world where major publications, I believe it was Elle magazine that just came out with an article about the manosphere. They've found this manosphere. What y'all are saying online is becoming more public. Okay? And she's been aware of that now for several years, which is why she rebranded and took down a lot of videos, including the video interview that she did with me, which it wasn't one of the most popular videos on her channel. So, I didn't feel any type of way about it. But again, she's understanding that people are going to associate her and her previous rhetoric with the current rhetoric that more extreme divestors are using. And she doesn't want that. She wants to be in a professional zone. She wants to be, rubbing elbows with important people. She talks about rubbing elbows with important people. I've done that my whole life. As someone who survived Blackistan and the foster care system and the crack cocaine epidemic. So I've been around people of importance my whole life. And I've told you guys before, if we were at a baseball game, which would statistically be majority white, but it would have various different ethnicities and races there, and they played any one of my videos, I would sit proudly having my videos played. It doesn't matter how far back you go, because I might have been going through some ish when I was younger, but you learn and you grow, and I'm proud of the work that I've done, period. And there are people on here who could not sit in a baseball stadium and have their content played and sit there and be proud of what's playing. Mainstream wouldn't want to hear it. Black folk wouldn't want to hear it. So again, I have not fed them yet. All right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My husband just got home from work, long day at work, and I didn't feed the animals. Now he got to feed the animals. Where is the DanieSteel? To the rescue. All right? Because that ain't right. Okay? And I give myself 100 Catholic lashings for that. Okay? But guess what? He's probably going to feed them. Also, I think Cersei dropped a bomb. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so, hey, it is what it is. So, yeah, I think that she became cognizant maybe 3 or 4 years ago of how the internet was moving, and that she didn't want to be associated with a lot of the things that she helped to facilitate. But it is what it is, right? I didn't take part in those conversations, and I don't have 10,000 subscribers. You know how many Black people come and listen to my videos, won't subscribe? They don't want to give me support at all because I said something that hurt their feelings. It wasn't wrong. It wasn't salacious. It just touched a rough spot on them. It made them think about self-accountability. So when you do things to get attention, you're going to get that attention. And you don't really get to dictate how that works. So she got the attention she was looking for sure.
I got the proof. If you look on my playlist, you will see it. Many of you who weren't picking your nose and eating your boogers were attacking us. That's what you were doing. Thank you for the super chat. You were attacking us and saying something totally different. Now, because it is financially and socially expedient for you to do so and safe for you to do so, now you're saying something different. And you want everybody to pretend you didn't say what the fuck you said. And my mistake was that I was trying to be kumbaya with some of y'all when I should have said, fuck you. No, there's no forgiveness. I don't forgive you. I remember what you did, and it is what it is. That was my mistake, and I didn't do it.
Okay, so I have no idea what she's talking about at this point. I have no idea. Again, fairly soon, if you're still here, Lace Coco, I'm going to bring you up, and maybe you can clarify some of that. I have no idea who she's talking about. Is she, because sometimes I'm like, is she talking about Chrissy? Is she talking about her, like, beef with Chrissy? Because it's like, I've said before in my previous videos on this, I don't see where Chrissy's in the wrong on this. I don't. I see Chrissy as the transparent, honest party here. She's talking about people saying things and then pretending not. I mean, that's exactly what she's done. She said things in the past that were very salacious, and now she's pretending like she hasn't. And I don't understand that. Because it's like, it's not like we weren't here. Like, we were all here. We saw it.
I take it back. Thank you, Ro. I take that back. I take back my kumbaya. Fuck you. Because you're only in this so you can get your rent paid. Because, bitch, 4 years ago, you were running behind the man. Yo, she's going in.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Is she talking about Iron Bang? Okay, let's continue.
Manosphere talking about me having slave hair.
Oh yeah, she's talking about Iron Bang. I remember that. Oh yes, I do. Which is very weird that a woman who people constantly make fun of for her hair choices or lack thereof, would make fun of another woman's hair. But again, this is when you're dealing with people who will say and do anything for attention. She said to get your rent paid. I'm done. Oh Lord.
This is the hair that comes out of my head. That's what you said. So I don't forgive you. And there is no bygones to be had. So yeah, I got a problem. And my mistake was I didn't say so. That was my mistake. That was my mistake. Y'all are being led by a bunch of people who are getting into the game really late, who weren't here to take the hits, who weren't here to have their family put on display, who had their whole information be doxxed, to be humiliated and dragged from one end of the internet to the other internet side of the internet. They came and they strolled in after they contributed to the bullshit we had to endure.
I agree with that. Again, if she's talking about Iron Bang, again, she's very entertaining, okay? But she literally contributed to Black women in interracial relationships being called a B-wench, being treated horribly on here. When we were just talking about our interracial relationships, we were not talking about Dusty's, BM's, nothing. She contributed to that. And the fact that y'all have put her on a pedestal, not my Steelies, but people have put that on a pedestal because she decided to switch up. I think it's something wrong. Something that y'all need help. I agree with her there.
And some of you guys are so weak-minded, it doesn't even matter to you that they did these things.
I agree with that. I've told you guys before.
I don't care.
I cannot mess with Iron Banging. Okay. Which again, that's the name y'all came up with. I'm just using it. I cannot mess with her for doing that. I'm in my fucking 20s, and these guys are coming harassing me because she signed off on it. And then you pay for her to get a new apartment? It's like you're not using your brain. All that money y'all was giving to the Honest Truth, I can't get over that. What are you looking for? And I've said it before a million times. You know, I'm not on good terms with Pink Pill, but what people did, doxing her family, that was wrong. Unforgivable, honestly. Putting these children's lives at risk, putting her husband's info out there, that's trash. She's got a young Black daughter, and y'all have put out horrible things about her daughter. And her daughter had nothing to do with this. That's not right. It's not right. And again, like I said, I'm not on personal good terms with Pink Pill, but right is right and wrong is wrong. I'm able to objectively look at these things. If you don't know why I'm not on personal good terms with Pink Pill, you can look at some of my older content referring her interactions with other people. But you know, the bottom line is that's fine. If I'm not on good terms with you, that's fine. I'm moving on. You know, you won't get support from me, but what you're not going to get is me wasting energy to be negative towards you either. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to move on. Okay? Because if you don't want to be on good terms with me, let's move it along. There's no reason. Like I said, I'm highly unproblematic. So if you throw shade my way, I'm going to think something's wrong with you. But anyways, let me continue. She says a little bit more.
I no longer want to connect with anybody on YouTube. I don't want to. And in fact, the reason why I'm doing this right now is because I got one foot out. The end of the year, my plan is to leave. I'm done after 2022 because I got an exit plan. Because what I see that is happening in this space is such a sacrilege and is such a wasted opportunity and is such a shitting on of what people who came before you, who did the work, who took the risk. And I have done what I can do, and now I'm done. You can have it. This is why I can say what I'm saying. Because the end of this year, to look past a year, 2 years, and 10 years, and look at if divestment becomes a bunch of cartoon characters with women cackling and cacawing about calling Black men bullet bags, what do you think the benefit will be at large for Black girls and women? Do you think it's really going to change? Do you think anybody's going to want to come to you with a 10-foot pole? Do you think that? Then if you think anybody who has any power is going to do that for you, you are a fool. You are an absolute fool, and you deserve whatever foolishness the world has coming for you. But many of you guys are ignorant and willfully so. So I'm gonna let you have it. But I will say this, as the sun sets on my tenure here, you can say whatever you want about me, but nobody in this space has done what I've done. You can say I'm crazy. I might be. Hell, I am crazy. To have dealt with this as long as I have, I must be crazy. Nobody has done what I have done, and you're never going to take that away from me. No cartoon character sipping on a cup of tea is going to take that away from me. You will never have what I have. You will never do what I do because you are too much of a coward to do what I have done. So whatever you say about me from this point on, say what you want to say. You're never going to be who I am. And when I close my eyes for the last time, I know I made a difference. I know I made a difference.
I just got to say, that insistence that she has to be the face of Black women dating interracially or divestment or whatever, that insistence that she has is the reason why at the end of the day, people will always defer to her when people are talking about divestment, including some of the more extreme talking points. You see, if she just said, hey, you know, I wrote the book on swirling, I was in an interracial relationship, I contributed greatly to that, but y'all can have, if y'all want to have that divestment, you know, y'all can have that. Then maybe people wouldn't associate her with it. But I think it's very clear that she will she will be associated with this stuff, and she doesn't want to be, because it's very extreme. If you don't understand maneuvering in non-Blackistan spaces on a daily basis, then you wouldn't comprehend that it's an extreme way of speaking. That's why I've never spoken like that. Okay? One, I don't have it in me. Okay? Again, I was listening to some of these women content creators when they were talking extreme, but I didn't join in or anything like that. Okay? But I needed to listen to those conversations, and acknowledge my anger. Okay? But when you're putting it out there, this is not how women speak. This is not how women speak generally, right? I mean, let's just be clear. There's nothing classist about me. I've told you guys many times before. I grew up poorest of the poor when it comes to America. I grew up poorest of the poor. I'm just telling you how it is. What Pink Pill is talking about here is, anybody that's not in Blackistan would be bewildered by a lot of this conversation. And it wasn't so much in the forefront back in the day, the way, 10 years ago, the way that it is today, the way technology and the media and everything catches up, and people want to put out stories. And just like people found out about Black Manosphere and that dysfunction and posted it in a mainstream magazine, one day somebody's going to find out who y'all are. You can hide behind the cartoon abbeys, but somebody's going to find out who y'all are, because what you said is just too salacious. And then you have to deal with that. Whereas if you think before you speak, whereas if you hone your critical thinking and argument skills, you would be in a better situation. You can still have strong views on things and not be literally breaking YouTube anti-hate speech guidelines. Are these men on here breaking YouTube's anti-hate speech guidelines with the hatred that they have, the misogynoir that they have exhibited towards Black women for decades? Yes, they are. They are. And you just had Elle Magazine expose that. And it will further be exposed. But people want to expose a lot of things, so, just be cognizant of that. I'm going to wrap up what Crystalline is saying and move on.
I made a difference in divestment. The very community that discarded me, that said I'm a mammy and I'm not worthy of the community, I'm the reason you're having these conversations, bitch.
Damn.
And let me tell you something else.
Damn.
Interracial marriage for Black women was at 9% until I wrote a little book called Swirling, and it's up 33%. And you can't tell me that I didn't have a say in that. So whatever you want to say about me, whatever roast video you do, whatever community tab you do, whatever Discord, whatever you do, know this: you'll never be and do who I am and what I have done. Never. And here's the last thing I'm going to say. Even if you don't like somebody, even if you fall out with somebody, that doesn't mean that you discredit them and try to destroy them. Khadijah Nassif, she had a blog called Sojourner's Practice.
Okay, finally I'm going to play a video, right? Because a lot of people have been saying, why doesn't she have the smoke that she has for other Black women content creators? Why doesn't she have that for the Black Manosphere? I think, to be fair, she felt doxxed and targeted by both Black women and men content creators. But I've seen a lot of women saying, why doesn't she have that same smoke for these Black male content creators? Okay. And I was listening to a live. She was on a Black male content creators channel not too long ago. I don't know if this was like 2-3 years ago, right? Let's listen to how that live went. We'll listen to a snippet of that.
We bundled our insurance with NJM and saved.
We bundled.
Damn commercials. Okay, let's listen to a snippet of that. Because she has a very large problem with the women in the space. I mean, you've heard how she's been talking. She seemed very pissed off. And we haven't heard a video from her in a while about being angry at the men who have come against her or targeted her or whatnot. So let's listen to this video where she was on a Black male content creators channel.
People, but this woman, I can respect that you have certain opinions about Black people, the upliftment of Black people, but this woman found somebody that loved her and she went where she was celebrated. In general, Black men are not checking for a Gabby Sanibi. They're not. She found love where she found it. And I think having a broadcast where you're mocking somebody who just found love.
I didn't mock. I haven't mocked anybody.
Humanity.
I haven't mocked anybody. Don't bring up falsehoods in my program. I haven't mocked anybody. I spent the entire first 30 minutes of my program talking about Black men, what we need to do, ma'am. I didn't mock anyone. So first and foremost, let's not get on my program mischaracterizing my statements. That's a very bad way to start a conversation, Chris.
The entire book.
Or should I say crystalline?
Yes, you can say my name.
The world's most infamous, swirling, ass-kissing, white ass-kissing bed wench. Welcome to the business.
Now we're being insulting.
No, ma'am, that's a statement of fact. That's not an insult. Be the best be the best white ass kisser you can be. We don't hate on you here. We don't hate on the girls who swirl. We don't hate on the chicks who do slave play. We don't hate on none of y'all, baby. Be the best bed wench, white ass kisser you can be. You ain't gonna get nothing but respect for that. Now, if you start becoming a liar, we can't respect that. But let's just keep it all on the table, baby. We ain't no hate here. We don't hate hoes.
Yeah, that's reassuring.
We don't hate hoes here. We don't hate
Calling
chicks
somebody
in their.
a hoe is insulting?
No,
Just
ma'am.
wondering.
Oh no, we don't hate hoes here at all. Absolutely not. No, baby, you're in the wrong place you're in the wrong place to think about that. But we don't hate hoes. We don't hate niggas. We don't hate players. We don't hate punks. We don't hate nobody. Everybody is free here.
That's great.
Everybody is free here to be what they are. But the rule is you got to be what you are. Don't get offended when they call you what you are. Now, you don't get to perpetrate something you're not. Now, that's what you don't get to do. You just got to be real with it. That's all.
Nobody can make you feel less than unless you let them. So go ahead.
There's nothing to feel less than about it. It is what it is.
And I don't.
So that's all.
I don't.
Man, nobody's here for that. That's it. Now you had something you wanted to say.
Right. I do. I think that women who struggle with their weight, particularly Black women who struggle with their weight, I do try to coach Black women, tell them that they need to seek whatever treatment they have psychologically that may cause it, exercise more, eat better.
I have a garden. I grow my own food. Some people still have that struggle. Some people will always have that struggle. And
that struggle is not a matter of availability of food. That struggle is a matter of lack of discipline and self-respect, ma'am.
That could very well be true.
That's not a could be. That's not a could be. There's not a nutritionist, dietitian, or doctor in America who's going to tell you that it's anything else. If you're going to
Okay, so the point is, right? I mean, she was insulted out the gate, and she stayed and had a conversation. And you don't see the smoke for the many times she's had conversations with these guys, and that's happened. I even played the last Clubhouse replay that I did, and she was in the room of that, and people were cutting her off because Black people talking about pro-Black, and I'll put that in parentheses, pro-Whack issues, because they don't consider the empowerment and protection of Black women and children to be pro-Black issue. People with their pro-Whack talking points, they don't want to hear from Black women that date interracially. Period. They don't want to hear it. Again, I told y'all, I don't care if the room is called, we want to hear from Black women that date interracially. If you go into that space with these people, they're going to attack you. Like the hyenas that they are. So knowing that, you should protect yourself and not enter those spaces. But she's saying like she's done with Black women on YouTube, but she's more than willing to go into spaces like that. People have pointed that out. And again, this video was something that I remembered when it happened, and I was very shocked. And you know, it just is what it is. Exactly. If he doesn't dislike her, how was it okay to disrespect her like that? That wasn't necessary. Exactly. Why is she still talking to him? Exactly. And I personally feel like if you didn't allow abuse from some people, you wouldn't put all of your frustration about being treated poorly on just one group of people. I think it's disproportionate. I think that this is just my thought observing her social media content. I think that a lot of the anger she has about being disrespected in these spaces is about all of the disrespect she's received. But it looks like she's only willing to address it with the women. So that's kind of bizarre. Yeah, absolutely. Lace Coco, if you're still here, I dropped the StreamYard link. If you want to come up, I'll drop it one more time. If anybody wants to come up and they can explain what they think is going on. Naima, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate you. I'm going to drop the link one more time. If nobody comes up, I'm going to head out. I just wanted to go over this stuff with y'all because it's like, is there a war going on with Black women empowerment and divestors and again, I don't think you can fight with divestors because for me, divesting is an internal framework similar to healing is internal work. It's an internal awakening. It's not an outward movement, not to me. So, I believe that there's space for everyone. Everybody can get along. Do I think that people need to be more cognizant of how they come across? Yes. Not on some, this isn't what ladies should sound like ish, but if you're constantly talking like that, how are you going to get those higher quality men when you're filled with rage, uncontrolled rage and anger, right? It's just not healthy. And again, I've had people dismiss me in life because they didn't want to be around how angry I was. They didn't want to deal with that. So it's not something that is going to invite quality people. What it's going to do is it's a trauma bonding experience. It's going to help you trauma bond with people who have been through it. But you know, at a certain point, it's like, when do you want to grow past this for yourself? I do believe that the women that are angry today are entitled to voice their anger. I do. I'm not going to tell y'all to watch y'all mouth and don't say this and don't say that, because no one's telling these guys that. No one's telling these guys that. So I'm not going to do that. Cosmic Journey, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank y'all all for supporting the channel. Lace Coco, I don't know. I know. It was 2 hours before we got around to, but I really wanted to play all this audio to just get an understanding of what was happening. Okay, because a lot of us were confused. Hopefully, if you came in and you missed some, you can go back and replay and get more of an understanding. We haven't gotten to hear a lot from, you know, the divestors' point of view, if you will. But I know a lot of my steelies are, you know, divestors and in divested spaces. And again, I believe that your anger is righteous. Does that mean that you shouldn't control how that anger is directed? No. For yourself, I think that you should. But, you know, at the end of the day, there's space for everyone. I talk a lot about psychology, infantilism, infantilization, parentification, adultification. I just posted something about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? I talk a lot about psychology and philosophy because I hope to get us to a place of healing. And I feel like healing should be the ultimate goal. That's me. Maybe after you get done being angry on one channel, you come over here and decompress and do some healing work with us, right? And think about things in a different way, not just on a personal, subjective level, not just on a micro level, but on a macro level, right? We can really understand what's going on, right? So we can heal, so we don't have to feel like victims. Oh, Lace Coco's up here. All right, I'm gonna add Lace Coco to the stream. Lace Coco, what's up?
Hey, girlie, sorry about that. I had to do some homework real quick, and I was like, I'm gonna come out.
No problem.
I have just a couple things to say, but I'll make it quick because I don't like to be long-winded. First thing is, Chrissy was my favorite part that you showed on the live stream, because I think she was more honest about what I have also observed. And I do understand this. There was a time where I was really pro-Black. I was down for the people. You couldn't tell me nothing. But I was never a true, I don't really like to use the term mammy, but what else can I use? I was never a mammy, but I was
identified.
Yeah, I was for everybody, the Black community. But an incident happened to me when I was at my junior college before I transferred to university, where this Black dude and his friend who was biracial, the Black dude was harassing me. It wasn't the biracial one, but he was harassing me, and I was like, "What is wrong with you?" And that right there made me so mad that I was like, I'm just done with the Black community in its entirety. And not just that, it was Black friends I've had that were female. What I noticed about Black women, we like to compete with each other. We like to knock each other down. And Christy is so right. It's internalized and ingrained into the community. Not only that, it doesn't just Black people are not honest with the fact that in the Black community, not only will you have Black men put you down because of your broad facial features and your dark skin, also other Black women do it too. And what I understood is that Black women, you know, I'm not talking about the mixed race ones. I'm talking about the Black women. We come in varieties of brown, like different shades of brown. Like you're lighter than me, I'm darker than you. And then there's other Black women who are fully Black, like Cynthia G. She's lighter than me. Then you have Crystal and Karazin. You just have like pairs, like Black women have different facial features and varieties of shade of brown. So based on our facial features, we kind of, it's called featureism. We deem each other as unattractive, or we treat other Black women like shit. But when Black women are around like lighter skin or mixed women, they treat them good. They're respectful. But when they're, that's why I don't like when mixed women say, I mean, it happens. I've seen it happen. I've done it before, but it's not as prevalent as they trying to make it seem, as though every dark skin and brown skin woman is bullying them. It's like, no, they always kiss your ass, and you're always linking up with a darker skin tone girl as a mixed race woman to be seen because you're in the Black community. Because outside of the Black community, mixed people don't get that kind of validation. Okay, so I've seen that happen, and I've seen dark skinned people and Black people in general treat darker skin tone Black girls with broader facial features like shit. Like, it's just disgusting. And then women who have features like Ryan Destiny or Justine Skye in the loose hair texture and their dark skin, they automatically think they're better. They just, it's just toxic. And when I tell you I want to explain something, I'm gonna get to that point. So when Chrissy was talking about YouTube in general, there was a lot of Black women, and this is my talking point, not yours, but because I don't want nobody to put nothing on you, because people love to do that. When you call in and you share your opinion, people automatically say, oh, the YouTuber made them do it. No. What she was saying was how at the beginning, a lot of women like Paris Milan, her, Cynthia G, most of them were very much male identified. And it's not nothing wrong with that, because in the Black community, Black girls are conditioned to be Black male identified and put ourselves on the back burner. When it comes to everybody, we are conditioned to, when people talk about the big mama trope, big mama, she was the type of lady who took care of all her son's children. All the kids stayed with her. She was overweight because she didn't have good health care. She didn't take care of her health, and she just took on everybody else's burden, and she died early. Example would be the movie Soul Food. So the point what I'm trying to make with that is that that's how a lot of Black women are conditioned, and we see it growing up because our grandmothers are there, our mothers, things of that nature. So a lot of Black women woke up when they started seeing how disrespectful these Black men were in the YouTube spaces. And Crystal and Karazin, Kendall, yourself, Cerebral, a couple Black women that since left YouTube, y'all were very prevalent in telling Black women, like, y'all got to put yourself first. It wasn't even about just interracial dating, because I hate when people do that. The original movement was about Black women getting mental help, like helping our mental state, making sure our skin look good, taking care of our health, because Black women, we have like thyroid issues, all kind of stuff, obesity, taking care of our health, putting our education first, putting ourselves first, not having children too early in life, not being shamed into having children early in life without having our, go ahead, yes ma'am.
Oh no, I'm just saying, I'm just agreeing with you, yep.
Like having our finances where it needs to be. So that's what you guys were saying. And then you guys said, after you have all that, all your ducks in a row, and you have your mental state first, you are self-aware, you love yourself, you let go of the trauma, because that's the problem with, like, I'm gonna get to that point. You guys said that, then date. You guys never said come into the divestment or the movement and be broken and go date somebody. That's the weakest thing to do, because a man or a woman, no matter if you're lesbian, I don't care what you are, a person can sniff out a weak person, a vulnerable person. I've had friends of mine who are women, who are straight women, who saw my vulnerability and they used me for it. People will use you if they see that you're vulnerable, if they see that you're broken. It's not easy to, I mean, it's easy to see. And I want Black women to understand and hear me when I say that. I'm a living testament to it. It's easy to see a broken person. And with Crystal and Karazin, I understand her pain, but like Chrissy said, you can't say I forgive you and then turn around and say I don't forgive you. Like, Chrissy's apology to her was sincere. Like, I feel like Crystal needs to choose whether she wants to forgive and come together like we supposed to as Black women to help the betterment of these young divestors, because the young ones are the ones who are coming in here ill-informed and acting crazy and calling Black men bullet bags and all this stuff. But I get what she was saying too. Don't make Crystalline Cares in the face of this new divestment movement that's full of broken women saying and doing anything. How is this going to help Black women if we're trying to get it known that we have a high femicide rate? Nobody's going to take us seriously if they can dig up videos of people saying somebody is a bullet bag and all this crazy shit. Then it's easy for Black men and Kevin Samuels to use the tool. Well, they did it too, so that's why we're doing it. So now nobody's going to recognize the abuse that Black women face at the hands of Black men. That is what Crystalline Cares was saying, is that you want to match the same energy, but as a woman, you cannot match the same energy. I know it hurts, but that's the world we live in. As a Black woman, I'm learning every day. I learned it every day. I cannot go into a situation with a white woman and she's yelling at me and I yell at her. We're not going to be viewed the same. So I'm going to have to play my position and do my tears, cry. And Black women, I think a lot of it too is that we're not tapped into our femininity. People need to be honest about that. Most Black women are raised in the masculine and raised to take care of everybody. We're not raised to be feminine women. So it's something that some of us have to learn. And people don't like to talk about that. It's not easy, especially you have different types of Black women. You have the awkward Black women like myself. You have the Black women who are outgoing. Like every Black woman has a different outer appearance, and we have to peel all that away to become the best version of ourselves. But the problem is that some of these young women, because these are young women, these are not adult grown women who have lived a life and experienced things. Even at 23, I've experienced a lot, and some people can't even relate to me and all that I've been through in my life. But that's why I say I'm glad that Crystalline Cares and yourself, Cerebral, Chrissy, Cynthia G to an extent did call it out as well. I feel like she said, every platform is different, and I'm gonna get to that and I'm gonna be done. But I like that they called it out because it was getting out of hand to me, and I was gonna take a step back because I was like, wait a minute, these young girls are not truly divested. They're just angry, and it's okay to be angry. I was at that point. I mean, it hurts to know that somebody that looks like you does not find you attractive and does not want you and does not care for your well-being. They just see you as something they can pump, dump, and use, because that's how Black men see Black women, as disposable, as tools they can pick up and put down. They really do, and they really do. That's why they get upset when they see Black women chase the education and have high self-esteem. They don't want that. They want a Black woman that self-esteem is at the bottom, like it's been throughout decades, so they can use us. And when they can't do it, they turn to these tactics of no man wants you, you're ugly, all that dumb shit that don't mean shit. And then my last point is what you said earlier about like Malcolm X, and I was agreeing with that. And I feel like it's fake how Black men say we want to be represented properly, but they always hype up the worst kind of men. It doesn't make sense to me. How the fuck are you acting like Martin Luther King was all that? I mean, I liked his I Have a Dream speech, but another YouTuber did a video about this. He was stealing white men's work when it came to his when he graduated with his doctorate degree in theology. He was stealing white men's work and putting it together in his paper. Like it's called, I'm looking for the word, dang it. Plagiarism. He was plagiarizing white men. On top of that, he was cheating on his wife with white women. He married his wife because she was light-skinned. His children are all like trash. His two living children. I'm not gonna speak about the dead woman because one of his children is deceased, but the two living ones, they're just trash. They do anything for money from the Democratic Party. And it's not about, I'm not making it about politics. I'm just saying, why are they so heavy and ingrained in helping Black people when the Black community has only gotten worse throughout generations? It's not gotten better at all. And on top of that, Malcolm X kids, you don't see his daughters messing up his legacy. They don't never really talk about their dad. They let people interpret him the way he lived and the way he died. They not out there doing all the extra crap. And that shows me a lot when you don't see nobody's kids trying to do all the extra crap. But it's like, I feel like Malcolm X is not praised amongst brown and dark-skinned men is because he's a lighter skin tone black man. So they don't want him to represent them. But even when it came to his movie, Malcolm X movie, they had Denzel Washington play him. Now he did a good job, but I felt like they should have allowed a lighter skin tone black man to portray Malcolm X, because we don't need to make it seem as though it was only dark skin and brown skin black men fighting for the civil rights movement. Okay, I think that's bull crap right there, as if other shades of black people didn't have it bad. But that was my last point.
And I wanna thank you for coming and joining and
you're welcome.
That. And I wanna speak on what you said, right, about it's not fair, it's an unfair world, it always has been. I keep it 100 with black women about that. You're not gonna come to my channel and get some, fairy tale idea that you could do one thing in life and change the way that black women are treated. You know what I'm saying? It's
insane.
That's why I say you just gotta embrace the melanin, embrace the curve, embrace the full lips, embrace your beauty, embrace how you can cook, embrace your beautiful body, embrace how beautifully you sing, embrace what you've been given, because you've been given so much, this world is determined to take it away from you. Whether it's your own men, whether it's women that look like you, and certainly from outside the community. And I was talking with my therapist about this, and I was telling her how whenever I go outside jogging or walking my dog, okay, racists in my community will stare at me, will look out their windows, will come out of their home and stand there on their lawn and just like stare me down, point at me, things like that. And I told my therapist, I said, I know that the moment I clap back and do what the you staring at, yeah, get crazy with it, right? Or even if I were to call the police would defend those people. They would not come there and be there for me. That is the lot in life that I've been given because the work wasn't done, because they stopped working on civil rights and gave up. Gen X and boomers and the men, because they didn't do that work, I have to live in a world where I know I can't call the police and say, hey, these racists are, making me uncomfortable, making me feel unsafe. They're going to defend them. They're not going to get there and defend me. All right? Exactly. Because of that, I have to move differently. I can't pop off and be like, what's up? What's up? Run across the street, right? I can't do that.
I know, right? You can't just be like, why you watching me?
Right. I have to make some tears happen. I have to file a lawsuit. I have to do things the long way.
Exactly.
Right? And it's not fair. It's not fair. I don't know how to make that clear. It's not fair. But it's what we've been given. That's our lot in life. Okay? Some people's lot in life is they get a lot of privilege in society. But by the time they're 35, they're out of the dating game. They've aged so horribly. Okay?
And I agree with that.
They go on vacation and they burn. The skin gets all red. They can't just lay out in the sun. That's their lot. You know what I'm saying? We have our lot. These are the cards we've been dealt. You got to play the cards you've been dealt. Right? So, yeah, you made an excellent point with that. Anything else you want to say before we close out?
Yeah, I want to say two things. First thing is Tay Love. Okay, I see that you're saying that stop calling black women angry. Let's be real here. There's two different types when I use it. I'm a black woman, okay? And when I say I'm a black woman, honey, I say I'm a black woman. I am dark skinned, thick features, 4C hair texture. I'm all the criteria that you check off for black. That's me. So when I say stuff is not coming from a place to try to dehumanize black women, it's real. They are angry. Like, come on now. Yeah, they bring up statistics, but they be saying crazy stuff like bullet bags and all this. When I look at white people, I'm talking about children. I don't look at white children and say they're little racist people because they're children. They need to grow up. They need to become who they're going to become. I don't hate in America, the population is 60% white. Okay. Do you think I believe every white person is racist? Absolutely not. But the point is, yes, these black girls are angry and they're coming on here and they're ruining the divestment movement. Y'all not getting my point that you cannot match the same energy as a man. You just can't. This is also a patriarchal society. Like, what are y'all saying? You that's thinking that these people are okay with what they're doing, it's not okay. It's detrimental. It's detrimental to our movement because when we go mainstream, they can come back and pull all this shit out and say, look what they were saying. When we try to talk about femicide and all this stuff like that. Also, when it comes to how we represent ourselves as Black women, we need to understand that we're not seen the same. Like, it took me I realized that this year that I am not seen the same as other women. I've seen Latino women that they call women of color treated better than me on a job. Can we really start talking about it? Can we really be honest?
Mm-hmm.
Black women have a hard enough time in this world. This not peaches and cream. And just because you fuck, I'm gonna be vulgar for a minute. Just because you fuck a white man or you fuck a white woman, however you like to flow your boat, that does not stop you from being a Black person.
Right.
That dick, that vagina, none of that stops you from being Black. When you with them, you're in an interracial relationship. That doesn't stop you from being Black. Your biracial children, them being light-skinned and being praised in the Black community, that's cute and all, but they're not going to be praised like that in the white community. White people always place themselves at the top, period. All the stuff y'all talking about, these young divestors thinking they're going to fuck a white man, everything's going to be better. If that was the case, then all our ancestors who were raped and who willingly had relationships with white men and women, that would have benefited them, but it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So what are y'all saying?
Mm-hmm. And there's been times when me and my husband are out on a date. He walked through the doors open automatically. I'm 5 steps behind him. I get to the door won't open. I'm like, what the hell? We literally went on a date. It cost a lot of money, and it was like this experience in New York City where the cameras follow you around, okay? And then at the end, you get to this gallery, and the cameras show you all the times that they picked you up. And it's supposed to be like this Big Brother type experience, right? Mm-hmm. You know the cameras didn't pick me up because I'm Black? It literally happens, okay? We get to the end, and we're sitting up there. We've done the whole experience together, holding hands, giggling. And then we get to the end, and the only person that we see in the gallery is him. It didn't pick me up because the cameras don't pick up Black skin color, okay? And there's been so many times, I swear to God, if my husband leaves the table, here comes security. I'm like, hold up, okay? Look who I'm with. And they're like, oh, okay. But it really do be that way. It really
exactly.
Like, it's very sad. But I would never get on here and tell y'all this is some key to changing everything in your life. That's why I said I'm not gonna sit here and say some white man saved me. Maybe I saved him. But
exactly. That's what these young divestors are doing.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, and I'm like, y'all ain't people to know. You laid up with one white dude. You don't live around white people. You don't live around non-Black people. It's not just I live in a Asian and white neighborhood. It's not less racist because POC are here. Newsflash.
Even Asian women told me. She told me, this Asian woman told me, she said, just because she told me, we had a conversation, and I was talking to this white dude, but it didn't work out. But she told me she was married, and she said she really used to believe, this is an older Asian lady, she said she used to believe that if she married a white man, because a lot of Asian women marry white men, she thought that her life was going to be easier, but she was like, no, it's not, because you get jealousy from white women when they see you with their man, because they teach their white boys that you're supposed to marry a white woman. They think it's cute when Black men and other races of men hype up whiteness, but they teach their white sons to go after white women. So she was telling me that she had a...
Pause real quick for me, please, Lace Coco, Tay Love, and everyone else, please understand, as Lace Coco said, this is her talking point, so don't put it on me. I've told y'all before, I believe your anger is righteous. Do as you will, and I'm not gonna lecture you. That's my stance. That's my formal stance. Okay? When we're talking about a lot of different things here, but if you feel like you're being told that, that's not from my personal talking point, but Lace Coco is entitled to her opinion the same way you are, Tay Love. I agree with both. I agree, that's what I'm saying. That it's not fair out here for us, that we have to move differently. Black women have been masculinized. And so you want to watch things that place you in your masculinity, which I think all people have. I think all people have femininity and masculinity within them on a scale, on a spectrum. I believe that. But if you're looking for men to protect you and you want to marry high quality men, things like that, you want to watch anything that's going to place you in a masculine. That being said, I've always said, y'all have a righteous anger and nobody's stopping these dudes. And I'm not going to be the one that sit here and tell y'all to stop doing this or that, because nobody's telling these dudes to stop doing this or that. All right. I live my life in a certain way. I do things a certain way, but I'm not going to lecture y'all about that. So let's be clear about the stance. But we're having a conversation. And you know what, Tay Love, if you want to come up, I'll drop the link one more time. If you disagree with what Lace Coco is saying and you want to come up and give your perspective, you're more than welcome to. You'll be one of the last people to speak before we close out. If not, I see your words and I understand where you guys are coming from. Again,
I feel like she's misinterpreting me though. I'm not saying that you have to be nice. Like, what is she talking about? I literally watch Cynthia G's page, and I agree with a lot of what Cynthia G is saying, that Black women should not be giving birth to Black children, especially when we're mentally we have trauma. Like, what? Most Black girls, before they reach the age of 18, they're molested. I was one of them. She don't know. Like, Tay Love, I understand your pain, so I'm not gonna be upset, but you don't know my life story. I grew up in the hood. Like, I'm one of those Black girls, okay? I grew up raised by my grandmother. My mother was in and out of prison. My father was not in my life. I knew him, but he wasn't in my life. I have, between my mother and father altogether, I have 13 siblings. So don't speak for me. And I'm not going to agree with you sitting up here trying to listen to these women that keep saying that if you date interracially, your life is automatically perfect. That's bullshit. And no, I'm not going to co-sign that, because that's detrimental to other young Black girls. Also, no, you can't call nobody a bullet bag. Just because they do it don't mean it's okay. What they saying is racist and hateful. So why would you want to do that? Why would you want to project that to some unsuspecting Black boy that haven't done shit? I'm a fair person. Just like I can't hate all white people, even though I know what happened to Emmett Till. Come on, some of the stuff y'all saying really makes no sense, Tay Love. And I'm just being honest. If by your logic, as a Black woman, we all here have to now hate all white people, simply because some of them have said horrendous stuff about Black people, called us monkeys, raped and beat us. Should I hold on to the victim mentality? No, I shouldn't. That tells me right there that, Tay Love, you're still in the stage of hurt. You're hurting. So you align more with those women calling people bullet bags and all that. You're hurting. I've been there, done it. But I want you to one day see a therapist, get help, and get over it. You have to, because these men are not going to stop being hateful towards Black women. And you matching that energy, you're a woman. You can't compete with that. We live in a patriarchal society. I'm not going to say nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, I see where you guys are both coming from, and then there might be some miscommunication, but I think you guys are basically on the same page. I really do. I think that Lace Coco, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that you're just saying, again, it's not fair that they can be so hateful towards us, and when that energy is returned, Black women are vilified for it.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
A lot more than Black men are. It's not fair, but that's the way that things are for women and men dynamics in a patriarchy, in a misogynoir-filled society, etc. So yeah, I know. No, I again, Tay Love, you're more than welcome to come up if you want to say your piece, but I really don't think that you guys are completely opposite each other here. I think that there's just a little bit of a misunderstanding, but I know, we all have a story. Look, I've been angry. I can get angry. I can, you know what I'm saying? And I'll come on here quick and talk about how I want healing. But the reality is there's always going to be anger. There's always going to be pain, you know? And I don't believe that we should be talked about the way people talk about us. You know, I don't believe in just sitting back and taking it. I don't. You know what I'm saying?
Me neither. I cannot stand Kevin Samuels. Like,
things. I'm sorry, is that you, Queen Cascade?
Hey, Danie. Good evening. Can you hear
go
me?
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Queen Cascade.
Hey, ladies. Good evening, ladies in the chat as well. I mean, I
Good
don't
evening,
disagree with what the young lady said. The lady that's next to me. Sorry, I don't know your name.
Lace Coco.
Lace Coco. It's not that I disagree with what you said. I just think there's multiple layers to what's going on in the space. Kind of like if you see it like the ocean and waves. So through the last couple of years and through the pandemic and before, you've had different sets of young women and older women that have come into the space at different times for different reasons. But obviously with everything that's kind of gone on with the pandemic, everybody's been more online than ever before.
Yes.
And then even as, you know, different parts of the world, different countries and different states are going through things, people are coming on here for more reasons. Do you get what I mean? Now, part of what I'm seeing is there's men within the space that when you were talking about the bro code, so to speak, earlier, it's a case of some of the men have got to a point for themselves in seeing what's going on with the space and they're not comfortable with it. Or because of their backgrounds in education or working with young people and the generational cycle that they've seen come around again, that it's kind of their frustration has come out at the same point as what's going on with us and coincided. But people attribute that to what's going on with the divestment conversation. Now, I will say this, like I've been in different spaces in different sectors, and obviously different sectors are different, but there were women having, because I never knew that it was really called divestment. I'd kind of heard Casey use it here and there, but like I said, in regards to her and certain coaches, I wasn't following them like that. It was more so I'm dealing with things in real life in our community here in the UK, but I came online to utilize YouTube like a tool. Do you get what I mean? There was people like Paris Milan and Lovely T and certain people that I listen to on a regular basis. But in regards to like Chrissy and other people that were dating coaches or were in that sort of dating realm, when I was dealing with sexual health, it was more about signposting. But what's happening now that I'm seeing is the younger women that are coming into the space, it's not that they want to be, some of them, it's not that they want to be angry. It's the approach from some of these older emotional dust mites. They're showing the signs of the predatory behavior towards the younger women, and they don't, the younger women don't take check with that. Do you get what I mean? And what's also happening is because the younger women are not giving some of these men that are not suitable for them the attention that they want, they're now aggressive, they're now resentful, and they're using other women in the pro-black space, quote unquote, to create this more division and more war. Because there's been certain spaces where people have asked me about my dating choices and it wasn't, you know, some people have an issue with it and other spaces were fine with it. But then all of this new round of divestment, it's like now these guys have used this divestment conversation to use it to attack women with it.
But can I ask you a question?
Okay, go ahead.
That's what the black women have to learn. Why are not you, but why are some young black women even going over there and giving those men their views? Why are they watching these black women who are black male identified who eventually see the light? Because I feel like the reason why like a lot of the dusties are coming older black men is because they see that a lot of black women, especially generation, you know, our alpha and stuff like that, are done with the whole male identified culture. So why do you think that young black women are even watching those channels?
For different reasons. Like we all have like men as male counterparts, and like you said, some are male identified, but then you also have to remember we work in different spaces for different reasons. And there's some of us as women that have no issue really being in a space with men, black men, or other cultures of men just because it's online. Do you get what I mean?
I
Like,
do.
we have to remember there's certain spaces where Black women are in real life, in working around men every day, and the kind of issues that they're coming across online, or specifically with Black men within our culture. Do you get I don't know if what I'm saying is making
No,
sense.
you're making sense. You're saying like it's mirroring. It's they're trying to see why they're going through what they're going through in their real life. That's mirroring. That's the same as like online.
Some of them, but other people have just come in here to see what's going on, to see what the Black community is doing online. Some people have come from an educated background where they're in the debater section. Some people are here because they're interested to seeing what both of the communities are doing. Some of the young people are here because they don't understand what's going on between the collectives and they want a better understanding. Do you get what I mean? So everybody's come into the space in a different way, searching or looking indirectly for a tribe, so to speak, because we all are drawn to people for different reasons. But obviously, with the way that everything's gone with the pandemic and people working more online, it makes sense that you would be in different spaces, because if you think about real life, that's what some of us do. We're in different spaces with different people for different hobbies, for different interests. And there are co-ed spaces, do you get what I mean? Or people that advertise as or come across as co-ed spaces.
Well, I mean, I sort of understand what you're saying, but at the same time, it's like I don't want our movement, like as Black women, we already are divided. I don't want it to get to the point to where we sound just like Dusty's, like Kevin Samuels and Tommy Sotomayor. That's not what I want for us. I want us to put our energy in really building up our self-esteem, our education, our mental health. Of foundations that help Black young girls who have suffered sexual assault, have legislation to talk about femicide. That's what I want. I don't want it to just be a YouTube thing and the back and forth. I want real issues. I want real change for us as Black women.
No, I can listen, sis. I completely agree with you. Like, from a UK standpoint as well, like, I understand that you guys are going through this in the US and different parts of the world. You get what I mean? And I'm with you on what you're saying.
I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to say just the US. I'm talking about globally, because
no. Hear me out. What I'm saying. Yeah. My thing is, I'm coming from a standpoint of us working together. We work together in our groups within the USA, but obviously from an international perspective, it's still important, because we see the fact of predators traveling back and forth between countries and the different things that we can help each other impact when it comes to laws, when it comes to legislations. Do you get what I mean? But also the other side of it is, as much as from a personal perspective that we're dealing with our own personal journeys in terms of divestment, we also have to understand there's the other part of it that involves the children. And when you're involving children, it does involve, for the most part, the other sex. And when you're dealing with families and you're dealing with education, so there are parts of the sector where it becomes a bit more complex.
Yeah. And that's hard to understand, as if you don't have children with, there's a lot of women that are listening to this and they have children with these men. I know for myself, I would listen to Black male content creators wanting to understand the Black male perspective more. I mean, this was a while back. I don't listen to them like that anymore, unless it's for content purposes. But they're definitely, people have brothers and fathers, and they don't want to give up on them. Yeah,
I understand now what she's talking about, because I used to, back in the day, this was 2009. I was really young. I was still in like middle school. I used to listen to Tommy Sotomayor, and he used to, it was horrific. But at that time, I have a lot of Black brothers. I have 9, in case y'all don't know. And I have to realize that a lot of my brothers, after watching him, they had some of that same behavior, like thinking that Black women were beneath them, and looking at Black women. They treated me with somewhat respect because I was their sister. And they loved my mom, but outside of me being their sister and my mom, they treated Black women that look like me like shit. So I get what y'all saying now. It makes sense. I understand.
I mean, personally, when it comes to me, like, the space that I'm creating is like multi-dimensional. So there is the elements where it will be for healing and peace and space for women to sort of connect and build. The other part of it is us working together, looking at the femicide rates, looking how we can improve on our services and working together when it comes to legislation. And then there's other parts in terms of, because, you know, self-love and self-care is a massive area even within itself. And do you get what I mean? The needs of within our community as Black women for the things that haven't been put in place. Do you get what I mean? So there's a lot that we need to sort of talk about, but just not only with the women that have previously been in the sector like KC, but then there needs to be some kind of middle ground where the younger divestors that are coming into the space, that we can have the conversation, so that we, do you know what I don't know if it makes sense, like a code.
No, you make it sense, but I think for me, like I was telling Mrs. Steele, it's easier for me to listen to an older Black woman because I feel like I can listen to young Black women because I know we can learn from each other. We the same age group, but I like listening to like an older Black woman because they've been around so much longer. And I'm not that kind of woman who says I don't have any children, so I would never tell a Black woman, oh, because you had a kid with a dust deal, you got some Black sons and stuff like that, you're supposed to hate them. No, I would never tell them that, but I can't understand that perspective. So I get what y'all saying.
So I think that moving forward, it's more like everything's going to play out in a different way. I think it's continuing to have the conversations with the younger BWs that are in the space. Like certain spaces that I've been in, there's young women that are being attacked right now, that have been set up by other men in the space that have created these gangs of mammies and pro-Blacks to attack other younger women in the space. So I'm trying to help protect some of those.
The mammies have been on YouTube forever. Oh man, they just come and go. They've been on YouTube for like forever, attacking other Black women.
Yeah, exactly. God. So it's like,
can y'all
who you calling the op? Who you calling the op? Original entity. You let me know. Specify for the program, please. Who's an op so we can understand? I know it's not me. And I don't think either one of these ladies is an op either. You know, they have different perspectives, but they're just being realistic.
Oh God, it's like this is what pulls me back when these young divestment women get mad at you because you're making common sense. You cannot. I mean, I understand y'all angry at Black men. I get it, but I get what you were saying. Imagine if everyone was protecting Black women and children like Black men. Girl, we get it, but we have to understand that who helped Black men become a protected class? Black women. Who? My son. Who be doing all that? Black women. I was raised by Black women, and they put Black men first. We need to have some accountability here. We can't just pretend like Black men became a monster on their own. Let's keep it 100. Can we do that for a minute? So y'all don't like to do that. And this is why I back away from a lot of these new divestment pages and YouTube channels, because y'all be full of crap. I'm getting mad.
That's all right. You know, I don't see anything. I don't see what you're saying as, maybe it's because I'm open to the different. I've heard other people say things that like what you're saying. I don't see it as being an op. I don't. But that's Original Entity's opinion. But it's and I think that you guys are both giving us very valid perspectives here to consider when we think about, why does this girl say this, and why do they listen to this, and why did you write? It's like people are coming from a lot of different perspectives, y'all. People are coming from a lot of different perspectives. And honestly, Original Entity, you'd have to be a little specific with me to let me know what she said that made you feel like she's the op, because I'm not really understanding it. Maybe I missed something, but yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to say? I gotta get going, make dinner for hubby. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Oh no, thank you, Mrs. Steele. You always are so sweet. Even though some of y'all may make me mad tonight. Love all y'all. Wish y'all the best. Stay safe.
Thank you so much, Lace Coco, for being here. It's always a pleasure. Anything else you'd like to share with us, Queen Cascade?
I think I'm gonna, because I've got a lot more to say, but I need to sort of get my train of thought together on the different things to be able to sort of, you know, convey it properly the way that I need to. But Danie, as always, I enjoy your content. I love Black women and I love the Ebony Rainbow, and I just hope that we can continue to sort of work together and see each other grow. And I wish all the women the best. And even in terms of Casey, if she chooses to go on and move out of this space, what I say is not with any malice or, you know, trying to demoralize anything that she's done. Do you get what I mean? Because from I haven't been in the space in the way that you have and other ladies have in this decade, you know, the last decade. But I just wish her all the best in all her endeavors. I want to see us all as women do well, and indirectly, even though I've got to a point now where it's like I'm for Black women and children, and I would like us to be able to concentrate on us as women. I want us all to do well in life. Do you get what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. And again, you put things so eloquently. I love your voice. So thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Danie. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Yeah, so Original Entity, let me wrap this up. Original Entity said, this is how I interpret what Lace Coco was saying. No matter what they do, don't say anything. Just allow them to run rampant. Hold your head down and focus on self. You know, I don't think that she was saying that. I think what she was saying was, because we're women, we have to be cognizant of how that's interpreted, because we're Black women as opposed to being Black men, and how it's interpreted differently and how we're held to a higher, different standard. That's how I interpreted what she was saying. Original Entity. The rant channels are needed, but they have attacked my platform too. Wow. Especially after my Disney video. But right now I just move on. Oh, what? Say what? No. Y'all know I'm with Mocha Mommy for life. If you ever need me, Mocha Mommy, just let me know. Okay? Because that's not right. Mocha Mommy is such a gem in this space. You know, I can't thank you enough, Mocha Mommy, honestly, because you helped me to be the best version of myself in this space, and to elevate higher, and to bring great content, and to have great discussions. So that's very disappointing to hear. I have to go check out that Disney video because I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, what? Why are they so bizarre? Again, I mean, if you want to live in La La Land and you want to pretend, you know, there's nothing wrong with listening to an older person that has a different perspective, and learning from that. You don't know everything just because you grown. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that too. And Mocha Mommy has taught me to do that. But yeah, like I said, y'all can talk how y'all want to do what y'all want, because at the end of the day, I protect my brand, and people know what I'm about. I'm gonna be on a friend's Instagram Live channel on Thursday, talking about Sex in the City, the original, talking about being married. That's not something that, if you don't want to pop off on some keeping it real-ish, you're going to be invited to do things like that. People invite me onto their channels all the time. You guys don't know about it because it has nothing to do with these topics. But again, like, you know, I feel like, unlike Pink Pill, I don't feel like people are going to associate me with how other people, you know, speak and come across, even though people do project and deflect on me. And, you know, I have had a couple of, y'all keep that Blackistan shit somewhere else, because you ain't going to roll up on nobody. All right? Y'all ain't about that life. All the attitudes and shit. I don't care if it's coming from a man or a woman. I divested for a reason, from Blackistan for a reason. And it wasn't to enter Blackistan spaces on YouTube. I don't care where you're coming from. You know, I mean, it's a certain level of decorum that you should have with for yourself and with one another in these YouTube spaces, for the women who are talking about these things that people can, can digest. You can be angry all you want, but the bottom line is a lot of people can't digest that ish. It's too much. A quality man is not going to be able to digest that. He's not. He's going to keep on moving past you. But go ahead and work out that anger. But don't come around disrespecting people. If it's not for you, move along and be in your space. Like Chrissy said, do what you do. But stay in your lane the way you expect everybody else to stay in theirs. But like I said, I'm going to make it very clear. Please stay off my channel. The people that come to my channel tell us, why are you talking about this and why are you talking about that? Bitch, don't worry about the fuck I do. You don't pay damn bill here. When I post about stuff that has nothing to do with interracial dating or blah, blah, whatever that triggers you, your ass ain't in the comments. I'm not here for that bullshit. Everybody can pop and get loud, yeah. But you gotta learn how to do shit in different ways too. I'm not scared of that shit. I grew up in the hood. Everybody grew up in the hood. Yeah. I got my ass beat. Ain't nobody scared of all that shit. They not. So a lot of times, you'll see black people will huff and puff and make their chest big. Trying to prove they somebody. I'm about that life. Okay, that's great. You ain't proving nothing to nobody. Everybody can do that. But how can you direct those emotions so that you're in control? I'm more interested in that for you, for your growth. You want to cuss these dudes out and go toe-to-toe with them? Go ahead. I don't care. I've never lectured nobody about that. I'm not going to. I'm not in spaces like that because I'm in a different place. Again, I've observed those spaces a decade ago, and I'm in a different place right now. So I'm not in those spaces to hear none of that. But the bottom line is, again, I've seen people come over here popping off. Y'all better watch that shit because I play nice. You understand? Nice is not something I'm trying to be. I'm not. And if you go get your feelings hurt, watch whose comments you liking on my page and shit. I don't take shit off because I ain't scared of nothing. Watch what you support and what you do around here. If you come on my page, you're going to give me support or you're going to get bounced the fuck on out of here. See, bring that nasty ass energy to your deadbeat ass daddy and that mama of yours that beat your ass, which is the reason why you so quick to pop, right? Because that's how your mama talk to you. Bring that energy to that bitch and see where it gets you. Y'all stay trying to attack people y'all think y'all can attack. Mind your motherfucking lane. Real fucking talk. If you come over to DanieSteel, you better bring respect or be ready to get your ass cussed the fuck out. I don't give a fuck. And I mean that most sincerely. Don't come on my page with that bullshit. Y'all ain't running shit over here. I had to tell you that before. Don't try to run shit on another bitch page. Don't try to make your mama listen to you for once. You ain't running shit over here. That's for the people that come on, not my steelies. I love my steelies. That's for the people that come on here with the fucking attitude and shit. Like I'm gonna let you seep through, bitch. You ain't sneaking through here, ho. Now, I'm a bitch that stood up to my mother. I stood up to foster mothers. I stood up to family and friends. So standing up to a troll online, standing up to an avatar, bitch is nothing. Stop coming over to my channel with a fucking attitude. Keep that shit in Blackistan. For real. We elevating over here. Okay? Period. And that's the last time I'm going to say it. Because a lot of times people will get cussed out in the comments and be like, oh, what? Watch what you saying. Watch what you saying, because I got to deal with a lot of negativity. And I'm not going to play nice. I plays nice. I'm telling you, that's not me. In the real world, I don't sit back like a punk ass bitch. All right? I handles mines. So, if you want to fuck with me, you're going to get your feelings hurt. Stop coming to my channel being disrespectful. I'm telling you that shit right now. Keep that Blackistan shit right where the fuck you found it. Okay? This is a channel for people who want to heal, elevate, level up. If that's not what you're interested in, you're interested in lower vibrations and lower frequencies, then go stay in the places that allow you to be that way. You're not allowed to be that way here. And that is for the random trolls, males and females, that come to my channel popping off with an attitude saying, why you talking about this and why you doing this? Bitch, you don't control shit over here. Stop coming on my channel with that bullshit. Fuck y'all thought. All right, I love y'all. All right, anyway, right, thank you. And you know what? I've enjoyed all of y'all. That was not directed to any of y'all in the comment section. I've enjoyed all of you guys. I had a great time. That is directed to people who will pop up in my community tab and in the comment section talking about something. Why you talking about this? Why you talking about that? Don't worry about it, ho. Fuck. Okay? You ain't tougher than me. All right? We can do that all day. And that's for anybody that think they're going to mess with Mocha Mommy. You ain't messing with Mocha Mommy neither. Okay? Stop it. Okay, period. All right, I adore you guys. You guys have been awesome. It seems like Blackistan, so I'm in the right place. Okay, if you want to go to Blackistan, we can go Blackistan. You know what I'm saying? But I thought y'all wanted to get away from that. That's what I'm talking about. If you want to get away from it, elevate higher. Do better for yourself. If you want every time you interact with somebody for heads to be bobbing, windmilling, we can do that too. Okay? I give same energy, baby. Y'all know it. Come on now. It's same energy. It's same energy. But you know what? Sometimes I'll pop off, like I said, because that kind of shit annoys me. Because I work very hard to have my channel come at things in a different perspective. And I don't get the views and the clicks because I approach things in this way. And then for people to come on and project onto me what they want to say to a larger content creator who does things for clicks and views, I'm not here for that. Stop coming on my channel with that shit. Just move along. I posted something in the community tab. I posted a book. Nobody clicked it. Y'all click on what y'all want to click on. Don't click on something and be like, why are you talking about this? Why are you praising white men? Why are you trying to trigger black men? Like, what? Pignicious. Why are you worried about how black men's responding to something? I let men handle things for themselves. That's why men like me. Because I let men handle things for themselves. I don't stand in the way of men in life. It's very weird. But like I said, people come on here and yeah. You know who I hear saying black bees the most? Other black bees. I think it's sick. I really do. But if I was going to interact with those girls, let me tell you something. Those women, let me tell you something. You're going to get what you give. I don't pretend to be nice, baby. If I'm nice to you, that's some sincere shit. Elsewise, we can go to there. We can go to there. Stay off my channel with that mess. Shit. Exactly. It's too low. It's too low. Yeah. Prayer and probiotics, okay? That's exactly it. Get your prebiotics and your probiotics, ladies. All right? Go take your vitamins. Go do some grounding work. Okay? Okay? Because I really appreciate everybody that's been here tonight, everybody in the space, everyone that's given me their time, your super chats, and contributed to this conversation. that was a little show for you guys. I'm not angry about anything enough to keep it going, but you see what I'm saying? It's like everybody can put on a show. But I'm gonna be honest, I've been blessed to have love in my life. And it's helped me not to be as angry. But you gotta start loving yourself first to get that external love. You gotta do the internal work. So I wish the best for all of y'all. Everybody, Black women, talk your shit. Do your thing. But be gracious with one another. I always try to have y'all understand. Let's be gracious with one another. My family of origin is fractured. And it breaks my heart. It really does. But I promise you, you will never hear about me speaking of them again unless they give me an apology for what they did. I have boundaries. So if I can cut off my family, which is most people will never be able to do, cutting off a troll ain't shit. Cutting off a troll ain't shit. Let me tell you something. I said some things that would hurt to intentionally hurt my family members' feelings because they hurt mine. They gave me an energy and I gave it back. So if you think that I'm not going to do that for a troll, you outside your ragged ass mind. So stop coming here thinking that I'm nice because that's what you heard through the grapevine. I'm only nice to people that are nice to me. I don't waste energy. Go take your vitamins, okay? So, all right. Yeah, it's been real. It's been real. I got to make dinner for my husband. He's waiting. You guys have a good night. Don't let all this stuff distract you from your goals. You can listen to people. You can take what you need from them. Throw the rest away. Put yourself first. That's what I have to say. All right. I heard you guys. I'll see you soon. Oh, also, FYI, I will be doing a live Friday evening. All right. With a Brad. Okay. I will be interviewing a Brad. We will be talking exclusively about interracial relationships, dating, and all that jazz. So you're going to want to be here for that. That's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, etc. Okay? Be here for that. It's going to be a great discussion. Y'all not going to want to miss that. I'm going to remind you guys again and again, but I'm going to see y'all soon. All right? You're going to love this one. All right? So set your notifications and have a good night. I'll see you guys soon. Mwah!